Well, good evening and welcome along to the PlayStation Open Series December monthly finals. We're back for more FIFA action, and what a night it plans to be. My name is Brandon Smith, and joining me straight after the festive period is Richard Buckley. We're going to strap ourselves in, as you said, for 3 hours or more of European FIFA action, and then we'll continue later on this evening to see what North America has to offer, Richard, as we close out 2020 in terms of competitive FIFA.
Yeah, absolutely, Brandon. I'm looking forward to what we've got lying ahead of us. What a year it's been, 2020, for the Open Series. It's been a turbulent year, but one thing that we've been able to come back every single month, every single week, has been the PlayStation Open Series. And not only are we ending the year strong with another December monthly final, but we're also going to be starting 2021 in the best way possible with some Ultimate Team action. Brandon Smith, talk me through what we've got coming up on the Open Series.
If you're not aware of what the Open Series is all about, let's run you through it. There are many tournaments you guys can get involved in at home if you are a keen FIFA player. If you want to sign up, first and foremost, the important link that you need to type into your tablet, your phone, your PC is compete.playstation.com. There is weekly qualifiers that take place every single week in the build-up to these monthly finals, where there's some serious money you can earn, some in-game avatars, some FIFA points on the line, and every single month we have a European and a North American monthly final that we get the pleasure of commentating over, Richard. And if you have just tuned in on YouTube or you're watching on Twitch, stick with us for the next couple of hours, because it's not just pride and trophies they're playing for, Richard. It's a lot of money on the line, isn't there?
Absolutely. You can see the prize pool breakdown right there. First place, we're taking home $400, second $300, third will be taking home $200, and fourth place will be taking home $100, with the top four placed competitors all taking home 12,000 FIFA points each as well, just in time for Team of the Year coming up in January.
Yeah, just in time for that. It's not bad, is it, to end the year with $400 and an extra 12,000 FIFA points in your back pocket. You like what you hear? You want to win some money? You want to win some FIFA points? Well, how about you get involved in the Open Series? Of course, this will be for January. Could you be involved in our first Open Series of the new year in 2021? Type in the link down below. Get yourselves involved. There's many, many tournaments that you guys can get involved in. Ultimate Team or on head-to-head FIFA. Compete.playstation.com. And because it plans to be a really exciting 2021, Richard. We won't say too much on today's stream, but all we can say is there's a lot of tournaments. If you have been someone that is sort of very much present in the Open Series, you would have seen there was a big FUT New Year kickoff, which involved like 240,000 FIFA points, Richard. There was a lot on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. We know what the players are going to be playing for. We know what the Open Series is all about. But let's have a look at the competitors in today's December monthly finals. We've got the Kings SD up against Idin98, Max_999K against Jungle Run from the UK, Kalebos up against Riley Crew, and then Ronnie 2003 against Sebastian Bash. A couple of names in there that we've seen before, Brandon, in particular Sebastian Bash and Ajdin Riyad as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how those two players sort of get on with the rest of the competition, because the number one thing that we've sort of talked about in the Open Series is there's not been, especially in Europe, a dominant player coming back month after month after month, winning multiple tournaments. We've had a different winner every single monthly finals.
Yeah, there might not be you could say a regular player, Richard, that comes back time and time again, but there are regular nations that always feature in the Open Series. It's something about Spain and it's something about Italy. 2 players from each of those nationalities in tonight's Final 8, Richard. I don't know what it is on the PlayStation, but they love the Open Series. Familiar name, Sebastian Baschke, a Danish player that's been in monthly finals before, hasn't won an Open Series, but he's been involved in a couple of my tournaments that I've run outside of the PlayStation Open Series. And I tell you what, this man is a serious contender in tonight's tournament. And also, Ajdin Riyad from Austria at the top half of the bracket, the only player that has previously been victorious in the Open Series. That came back on FIFA 20. So a new game this year, a new series of tournaments to get him involved in, and fingers crossed he can continue that momentum over to next year in 2021. But let's take a look at our first fixture, of course, of the evening. We'll do that as soon as it is ready. Before that, though, Richard, let's talk about the teams that are going to be in use today, and it's probably going to be a lot of France, which sort of begs to differ the questions of how do you use France and how do you play with France in the best way?
Yeah, absolutely. France were the dominant team in FIFA 20 and they're continuing that streak in FIFA 21. These are a couple of formations, or several formations I should say, that I have gone into the Richard Buckley laboratory and I've found different ways of playing with France. Not only the 4-2-3-1, which is the tried and trusted France formation, but a couple of variations on it as well. The 4-1-2-1-2 plays into your hands nicely. You can have players like Corentin Tolisso coming in as a central midfielder, and then a lot of pace up top. Ousmane Dembele alongside Kylian Mbappe as your two strikers, Ben Yedder at cam. A 4-2-2 plays nicely with France as well. Kingsley Coman, Anthony Martial, Griezmann, Mbappe, and Ben Yedder, all attacking options. And a 4-4-2, which you would probably say the second most used formation for pro players behind the 4-2-3-1 this year, with Kante and Pogba holding those centre mid positions. Out wide, you've got Coleman and also Anthony Martial, and then up top, Ben Yedder and Mbappe. So France do also suit a 4-4-2 formation.
Yeah, they certainly do indeed, Richard. I mean, let's speak about another team that is very much used here, which is Liverpool. 4-2-3-1 again, another really popular formation. What Liverpool offers you is very good defensive midfielders. Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, even Gini Wijnaldum could be a usable option there. You've got the 4-3-2-1. Something else that Liverpool offer you is very pacey wingers. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, they're of course partnering up top with the likes of Bobby Firmino, Diego Jota. They are a stacked team. 4-1-2-1-2 if you prefer a more narrow formation, or if you like your classic football, the 4-4-2 is the one for you. And the reason why we've mentioned both of those teams, Richard, and both of those formations, because our first game of the day is going to be France against Liverpool. Wow, I didn't expect to see that as our first game, Richard, because normally in the Open Series, if you are a familiar viewer, it's always France 99% of the time. But Liverpool, don't get me wrong, Liverpool this year on FIFA 21 have had so many upgrades, Richard, but they just still aren't France.
Yeah, winning the Premier League will grant you a lot of player upgrades in FIFA. It's a yearly cycle, so you sort of, what the developers will do, they'll look at what happened in the previous year, and then the players will get upgraded on their performances. But France seem to be the dominant force. However, Liverpool have been successful in previous monthly finals. And also, Brandon, monthly finals, we've had a Barcelona before. We've had different teams win when it comes down to the monthly finals.
Well, here we go then. We are officially underway for the December monthly finals. Our last broadcast for me and you, Richard, and the last Open Series tournament of 2020. A tournament that kicked itself off all the way back in the summer this year. Obviously, that was on FIFA 20, but this is our second finals on FIFA 21. It's going to be France kicking from left to right. That will be, of course, the King SD, the Spaniard. And it will be Aiden 98 as Liverpool in that green from right to left. If you don't know the format for this tournament, of course, it's club teams only. There's no ultimate team on the line here. And also, it's a best of one. So if you win in 90 minutes, you will be into the semi-final. And you will be into the cash prize, as that one just about sneaks into the back of the net for Liverpool. And it will be Bobby Firmino. That's something that we spoke about with this Liverpool team. They have got pace on the wings, but they've also got a deadly finisher in the Brazilian wearing that number 9 shirt.
Yeah, got a little fortunate, Firmino. The ball seemed to sort of bounce through the defender, but he's done very well to finish past the goalkeeper. I think your Hernandez back there just wasn't strong enough in the tackle. It could have been Digne, actually. We talk about Digne quite a lot with France. He makes this France team somewhat usable. Fullbacks was an issue in FIFA 20, especially at the back, but with the addition of Digne and Phil and Mendy, certainly puts a plaster over the hole, shall we say, defensively. But Roberto Firmino slotting it past the goalkeeper, and a couple of interesting picks in this Liverpool team as well. You see the Greek fullback, Tiskimas, for Liverpool instead of Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back.
Well, yeah, the reason for that is, Rich, I'm just sort of having a quick scan across this Liverpool team. It looks like this chance does come in. Ben Yedder back to goal. Potential chance for an equaliser. Gets a fortunate deflection. Is Griezmann going to be onside? Yes, he will be. says the linesman. We'll talk about France in just a second, but it seems as if it's a midfield duo, Richard, of Gini Wijnaldum and Trent Alexander-Arnold. As you said, it's the Greek fullback that moves into right back. He has got pace. I think he's about 76 rated player, though. And then he's obviously using Andy Robertson out on the left. And then going forward off that, you're looking at Diego Jota in that cam role. So it seems Bobby Firmino is your out-and-out striker. Speaking of Jota, could it be 2-0? It will be. I don't know how he's using this Liverpool team, but at the moment, it all seems to be going well for him, Richard. A very different Liverpool lineup here, but 2 goals to the good in about 10 in-game minutes. He's having a field day.
Showing exactly how to use this Liverpool team. Jota in at cam, and then the pace out wide with Mane and Salah. Great finish from Diego Jota as well, smashing it past the goalkeeper. Great start here for Liverpool.
Yeah, just a really, really interesting one. I mean, don't get me wrong, on FIFA 20, when we had the Team of the Year promo, chance back to goal now for Mbappe. This needs to go, and it will. Lovely scoop turn. And an instant reply that France needed in this one. Just a quick word, sorry, on that Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's in sentiment. Don't get me wrong, when we saw him in a Team of the Year variant last year, when we saw him as a Team of the Season item on FIFA 20 and Ultimate Team we're talking about here, he was a player that could play CDM and he could, you know, fulfill those roles. This year came into the game as an 87 overall. Might have all the pace in the world of a fullback that you might desire, but I mean, certainly with the rating that he offers, Richard, he certainly can do a job in midfield.
Well, not only that, but Trent Alexander-Arnold offers you almost midfield-esque stats. Great dribbling, unbelievable passing as well, with the pace of a good central midfielder. He probably suits that role a little bit more than he does a fullback, in all honesty. We saw him got a shapeshifter foot item last year as well. I was fortunate enough to pack that, actually. And he actually came out of packs as a centre mid. So certainly he can fulfill that role, but with the addition of the Greek fullback in the summer, it now gives an option at fullback for Trent to move further forward. Quite innovative, really, quite creative. To spot that in the team and then say, you know what, I can work with that.
To flip it on its head on the other side, Richard, let's look at this France team quickly. It's, also, as you know, France were the team to use on FIFA 20. Offside trap played, but he's absolutely got that all wrong. It's Ben Yedder, he's onside, and that's going to be 2-2. Those are the mistakes that you simply cannot make in the Open Series EU monthly finals. An offside trap that was just timed completely wrong. And with Sam Ben Yedder timing his run to perfection to ensure he makes it 2-2. That was 2-0 up in this game for Liverpool in inside 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, Richard, we're all back to a 2-2 scoreline. And you would say, for the King SD, a clean slate in this one.
Yeah, 30 minutes gone. We've already had 2 goals for either team. A couple of well-worked goals, in all honesty, for Liverpool, and capitalising on a mistake there are France. Probably the best team, I would say, at capitalising on mistakes. When you look at the pace that they've got in that squad, Griezmann, Ben Yedder, and this man up top, Kylian Mbappe, he can make you suffer if you give him any sort of room.
I wanted a quick word on France. Obviously, they were the team to use in FIFA 20 in the PlayStation Open Series. They've continued to be the team to, of course, continue to use in FIFA 21. Why is that here, you ask? I mean, just look across the whole team. The squad depth that this team has, or this national team has, is absolutely fantastic. That goal could have been even better there from Sadio Mane, just over the bar of Hugo Lloris. But I mean, look, starting at the back, Hugo Lloris, very solid goalkeeper. You go forward off that, you've got the likes of Raphael Varane, Clement Lenglet, Ferland Mendy, he was introduced into the game. That's an awful mistake, well recovered there by Raphael Varane. And then you go forward off that, you've got it's the best CDM partnership in sort of this club mode that we're in at the moment with the PS4 Tournament Open Series. And that is Pogba and Kante, the perfect CDM partnership. A player that can go forward in Paul Pogba, and of course that player that's just the ideal type of a box-to-box midfielder in N'Golo Kante. And who have you got forward after that? You've got Martial, again, introduced into the team on FIFA 21. The likes of Griezmann, the likes of Ben Yedder, a five-star player. Mbappe, the star of the show. And you've even got a couple of options off the bench, which really can come into this team and can just really spice things up for you, including Kingsley Coman.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't need to say anything else about that France team. He gives a real good rundown of all the players involved there. One thing that I've seen so far in this match, you would tend to play Mane on the left and Salah on the right, but he's actually gone with the specific players.
Could be a chance.
And that's exactly what I was just about to say. He's chose Mane on the right and Salah on the left, looking for those back post crosses, meaning that he doesn't have to cut back inside to cross on the player's strong foot. He's just running straight down the line and then crossing on their preferred foot.
Someone else that's very much usable this year, Richard, is those cheeky chips, as Mbappe was just denied that on the stroke of half-time. But what a first 45 minutes this has been. If this is your first taste of the PS4 Open Series, of course, make sure you stick around, because that is 4 goals in 45 in-game minutes in our first quarter-final of the day. If you have just tuned in, come and say hello to us on the YouTube chat or on the Twitch chat. We can see both of the comment sections, and we will be doing our best to interact with you guys in terms of what team would you guys use if you were playing in this tournament, or if you're going to play in this tournament next year in 2021. What team are you going to use? Because as Richard's been saying and we've been discussing, it's France, Liverpool. Occasionally you might have a sprinkle of PSG in there, or a Piemonte Calcio because of Cristiano Ronaldo, but let us know in the comment section which team that you would like to use. But what a first 45 minutes here, Richard. You see the chances at either end. France have been on top, and you wouldn't think that, even though they were 2-0 down in 15 in-game minutes. But this is a best of one. A 2-0 scoreline, 2-0 up. If you can hold on to that half-time, yes, it didn't happen. That can win you a single-leg match. It really can, a 2-goal scoreline.
Double change at half-time. Rabiot coming on for Paul Pogba, and also Kingsley Coman coming on at left mid, I think it was, with Griezmann going up front. So Griezmann now occupying the striker position. I think it was Ben Yedder who was told to make way for Kingsley Coman coming on out wide. A double change, and also Adrien Rabiot coming on for Paul Pogba. So you're bigging up that CDM partnership. He's just ripped it up.
I mean, that's quite a big move to make as well. I mean, what, Paul Pogba 86 overall rating, Rabiot, what is he? Is he 81 still now? Has he had a slight upgrade to an 83?
81.
Well, so he's only 81, of course. Yes, it's fresh legs, 45 minutes into the game, but Paul Pogba, I still feel like he's got a bit more to offer you to at least the 60th minute there. Ben Yedder, normally the catalyst going forward. He makes way early on to this game. It's Griezmann that actually keeps his place in the team. As we said, 1 goal could honestly win this now. 2-2 the scoreline after the first 45 in-game minutes here. And fingers crossed, there will be plenty more goals to talk about. A lovely long ball forward there, and that will go into the hands of Hugo Lloris.
It was the position change from Antoine Griezmann. He was using him on a right mid-role. Certainly not his preferred role at all. He's now got him as a central striker, up alongside Kylian Mbappe in a 4-4-2. So I think you're getting the best out of Griezmann, but you're having to sacrifice Ben Yedder. So it is really a 50-50 for Adrien Rabiot. He's a lot more defensive than Paul Pogba, but he's not going to offer you anywhere near the amount of attacking prowess that Pogba does.
Of course, we're only broadcasting the quarterfinals onwards here. This tournament actually did take place earlier today with a round of 64 where, of course, these players were able to win their round of 64, the round of 32 and the round of 16 games. So 3 matches to even get to this stage. Look at the journey that both of these two had, including the King SD. He had to win a very difficult game by a goal still against Loskill 2004. 1 goal still in the round of 16 to book his place here in an Ajdim Riyad. Again, just narrowly snatched a 1-0 win against Alex Andre of France. As we said, this is an open series tournament that's open to so many players. Thousands of people sign up month after month. And again, if you're sitting there at home and thinking, maybe I wouldn't be good enough to play in this tournament, this is all about trying to find the next FIFA player. If you fancy your chances, why not get yourselves involved in the new year? So much up for grabs. In-game avatars, FIFA points, and even some money on the line. That's just been whipped into the shoulder of Mbappe. He had no time to really react at all there. Still, there will be a chance for France. But crossing this year, Richard, it's certainly a very viable method of scoring. If you can get the sort of whip that you want onto it in the near post, goalkeeper normally has no chance. That's one thing I've really noticed this year on FIFA 21.
Yeah, the back post cross was a lot stronger towards the start of the game cycle. It did get nerfed, I think, in the last patch, actually, the R1 square back post cross, but it is still viable if you can time it right. Chance here, Antoine Griezmann on the edge of the box.
Just offloading that to Kingsley Coman, one of those players that was substituted onto the game just after the 45-minute restart. If we are all square after 90 minutes in any of our games today, we will be going into extra time, and if needed, we've seen it before, we saw it in our grand finals last month in November, we will go to penalties. We saw Stingray from the United Kingdom win the November monthly finals last year. Speaking of Stingray, Richard, no sign of him at all in our monthly final bracket. That's including the top 64 players. Wasn't anywhere to be seen. I know he's someone that you've previously matched up against with and enjoys a dabble of pro clubs. Any idea where he's been the last month, or has he just been enjoying the Christmas break?
I think he's also been, in all honesty, focusing on the Global Series as well. He's actually, I believe, the highest ranked UK player on the PlayStation is Stingray as of this stream right now in terms of the FIFA Global Series, and we saw him firsthand in the Open Series. That just goes to show how we're getting the very best players competing here on the PlayStation Open Series.
That's one thing I'd love to add there. Of course, me and Richard are lucky to heavily be involved in the Global Series, which is like the professional FIFA player circuit, so to speak, of competitive FIFA esports. Chance here for Liverpool, we'll talk about that more in a split second. Chances at either end here as we close into our final 15 in-game minutes. But it was a couple of players, Richard. It was Stingray. There was Heeza's 99, an Italian player we've seen before in the Open Series. All of these players were about 2 games away from making the PlayStation first European qualifier with EA Sports as part of the FIFA 21 Global Series. And that just shows the progression that so many of these players have had from just competing in the Open Series, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it's amazing to see that, you know, PlayStation have been able to sort of grow these new players and these new Mo Albas, hopefully for future years, that maybe can go the full way, can become a FIFA World Cup champion. And as you said, Richard, fingers crossed, we'll see a few more of these players break through the Open Series, then onto the global stage with the FIFA 21 Global Series.
One change remaining here. If you look at that bench, it doesn't scream super sub. Kimpembe, Giroud, Tolisso, and Lenglet. He's actually going with Lucas Hernandez as his left centre-back instead of Clement Lenglet. I think Hernandez a little quicker than the Barcelona man. However, we've been a fan of Clement Lenglet for many a month here on the Open Series. 10 minutes left to go in our first quarter-final of the day. Every single of the quarters will be shown here for your viewing pleasure.
Just 9 in-game minutes left. As we said, Richard, if we are all square, we will go into extra time. Minamino, one of those players that has just been introduced, including Fabinho for Liverpool here. An injection of pace and hopefully a little bit of energy. Either the Japanese forward or the Brazilian CDM, just to keep things ticking over. Here's Minamino now. Can he whip that ball across the box? He looks across the box and it's nearly bundled in by Sadio Mane. He was just taken to ground. And Hugo Lloris, luckily able to stand. The strongest again, possession given away. Minamino, can he whip that into the box? He will whip it into the box. It's punched away by Rafa Varane, only as far as the player. Back to Mane. He drops the shoulder. It's off the post, and it's all Liverpool at the moment, coming so close to breaking the deadlock and snatching a winner.
How has that not gone in? I will never know.
Still not done yet. Does well, very well to win a corner there, Bobby Firmino. That one played short. This will be the last chance of the game. First game here of today. If needed, we will go into extra time, as already mentioned. He will be the first aid into the semi-finals and into the prize pot. Fabinho into Mohamed Salah. Can he get that ball across the box into Minamino? And it will be the super sub of dreams. A minute of additional time. And Richard, it's that back post cross once again that's causing problems for every single FIFA player, so it seems, this year.
Yeah, I'm asking questions of Hugo Lloris. It looked like you were there across his goal. He'll have one more opportunity to bounce back, but Fabinho does well in the tackle. All he needs to do is just get this ball out of play. That'll do it. It's been coming. That goal was coming, you've got to say. He was building in the attacks. Mane hit the post. He had a cross towards the back post as well. Originally, the goalkeeper saved. A very tight game between those two, but Minamino, the super sub, you said he'd been brought off the bench. Yeah. Is there a winning goal there? And Minamino popping up at the back post. Not sure where the defence was.
I mean, that's what the Open Series continues to bring. Late drama and those big match moments. Richard, the Liverpool dream is still alive. And again, a different way that we've seen Liverpool being used for the first time in FIFA 21. Very much refreshing to see Trent Alexander-Arnold called upon as CDM. And again, that's ahead of Thiago, that's ahead of Fabinho, that's ahead of Jordan Henderson. That's 3 out-and-out CDMs that some players would normally at least choose one of them and keep Trent Alexander-Arnold, I should say, in at the full-back areas. But Minamino off the bench, not the highest-rated player. And here's a couple of those big moments, Richard, from the game. Liverpool started this game so well. They went 2-0 up in about 15 in-game minutes in this one.
Yeah, it was a very, very good performance by Liverpool in the first 18 minutes. Roberto Firmino, dangerous as ever. He's playing a striker, but he drops a little bit deeper, does Firmino, and offers Jota, Mane and Salah the runs off of him, sort of like a false 9. Straight from kickoff, France answered back. Lucas Digne down the left-hand side here. Looked for the cutback inside the box. It found Kylian Mbappe. Scoop turn past the defender and slotted into that bottom corner. And he did answer back again. France. It was a defensive mistake here. You see Virgil van Dijk and Gomez just not quick enough getting up off the offside trap. Ben Yedder with a one-on-one and smashed it into the top corner. And we had to wait another 60 minutes to get another goal, Brandon.
Yeah, we had to wait a very long time, didn't we? What a first 30 minutes that was, though, in our first game of our EU monthly finals. 4 goals in 30 in-game minutes. And then there was this chance here where Liverpool were just building and building and building, trying to create the perfect chance. It was just a couple of minutes, even seconds left in the game. You can just see him toying the run towards the back post. Look at that movement. Does very well to move out and just angle up the shot. But as you said, Hugo Lloris, you'd expect to at least get a hand on that and to parry it round that right-hand post. Let's have a look at the bracket and see how it's looking with that result. We've got one name in our final 4, Richard, and it's going to be Ajdin Riyad, the Austrian, the first name in that final 4.
Great result from Liverpool then. We always talk about France being the dominant force, but other teams are available and other teams are useful. We always talk the facts of if you're using a Liverpool or a Man City or a PSG, France are the easiest team to use. But if you can get a niche and you can perfect how to play with a different team, you can be just as dominant in the Open Series. And we saw that with Ajdin Riyad right there for Liverpool, playing players out of position. He had a philosophy that he wanted to play. Firmino up top, Jota getting a start at cam as well. And it was very successful for him. I want to see more players sort of just take a little bit of a risk and play with a different team and try and master a different way of playing. Ajdin Riyad, first player into the semi-finals, and guarantees himself at least $100 and 12,000 FIFA points.
Yeah, well, I hate to burst your bubble, Rich. Unfortunately, we're going to be going back to reality in terms of it's going to be France against France in our next game today. It's going to be Max 99K from Germany up against another UK player, Richard, that's made a run in the tournament. Normally, used to speak about Mitch Hayward, Stingray, AMK. These are all UK players that have done previously well in the Open Series over the last couple of months. There's another name, Jungle Run, who's had an unbelievable run in the tournament today from the round of 64 into the final 8. It's going to be France against France on this one. I mean, back to reality, but they are the team to use. And again, if it's your first time here in the Open Series, we'll do our best to talk to you about why France are the team to use, what formation you should be looking to use, and if you are wanting to get into the Open Series, how you should look to use the national side, Richard. They proved their worth nearly in that match, from bouncing back from 2 goals down to winning 2 goals. But most definitely, they are the team that have won the most Open Series tournaments because everybody's used them in the nicest way. Yeah,
absolutely. France are the number 1 team, not only in statistics, but in performances as well here in the Open Series. And I think the main thing that I'm going to be watching in this particular game is how France are lined up. It looks like a 4-4-2 for Jungle Run right here. You can see the 2 strikers up top in Ben Yedder and Mbappe. On the other side of that, a 4-2-3-1, I believe, used for Max here, with Martial out wide, Pogba and Kante holding.
By the looks of it, Rich, there was actually a penalty shootout in the round of 16 from Max that decided that he would be in our broadcast for today in the final 8. It was against Burke Taski, 7-6 via a penalty shooter. That game went to the right wire between those two. Chance early on into this one, and we'll go back to the goalkeeper. And if you are wondering who is who, it's Max kicking from left to right in that French blue strip with the red socks. And on top of that, from right to left, of course, it will be a Jungle Run from the United Kingdom. 2 players that have made it to their first ever final 8 here, and this is what the Open Series continues to do. It brings new names and more names from all over Europe to prove why they should be a champion here in the Open Series, which we can confirm, Richard. We will have another name that will be a champion tonight, because there isn't Stingray in the tournament. So we will have another name, on the winners list of the Open Series as we round out 2020. As a chance comes in for France here early doors. It's a lovely little ball into Martial. Interchanges very well. Is there one more pass? He goes for the one more pass. He's onside as well. And it's a perfect start for the German player here in Max 99 GK. It's Mbappe with the goal. It's a perfect start 30 minutes into the tie.
It was a great ball over the top for Max. But Jungle Run will move in his goalkeeper, and I think if he doesn't touch the goalkeeper off of the heavy touch from Anthony Martial, I'm pretty sure Lloris would have got that. I'm pretty sure he'd have come and smothered it before he managed to get the pass across the box. But because he was using the right stick to move the goalkeeper, he took control of the situation and meant that he had to then pull him towards the ball. The goalkeeper moves a lot quicker when you're not manually controlling him. And that was his downfall right there.
It was a little bit peculiar, wasn't he? He sort of teased the goalkeeper out slightly. He didn't sort of fully commit to coming out and sort of being a sweeper keeper, so to speak, did Hugo Lloris for Jungle Run. And then it was quite a routine finish. It was a typical sweaty goal, as any FIFA player would say, across the box. It's a guaranteed goal. And that's why it's important. Mbappe broke the deadlock 13 minutes into this tie. I tell you what, he's looking for even more goals, is Max. Another chance now, this time with Anthony Martial. A little bit of a different France lineup this time as well. It's Kingsley Coman that will get a start in this game out on that left-hand side. You've got Martial out here on the right with Mbappe and Ben Yedder starting in that front three, which means that Griezmann will be on the bench. He's definitely a viable option to bring on late on into the game. On the other side of that, I think it's pretty similar. There isn't a Griezmann starting. And that's, oh no, there he is, number 7. My apologies. Yeah, number 7 on the far-hand side for Jungle Run. Mbappe and Ben Yedder up top. Here's Mbappe now, just like that, rule square. 25 minutes into the game. Different set of players in the top 3 for each of these two, but that doesn't matter because Mbappe down either end continues to be the top goal scorer for France in all the Open Series tournaments, so it seems.
Might be different formation, different personnel, but one thing both players have got the exact same is Mbappe as their central striker. Mbappe as the main man, the number 9 up top. And a lot of people regard him as the best striker in FIFA alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. Great finish, turn of pace, and then just that rifled shot across the goalkeeper.
Into FIFA, just how we love it here in our EU monthly finals. The second finals since moving over to FIFA 21. We'll look forward to following this competition still into the depths of 2021. Let's see what new names we will continue to find across Europe and North America. As we said, we'll be showing you every single matchup here. All the quarterfinals, all the semi-finals, and then the grand final tonight. Here comes Jungle Run. Was able to equalise just 12 minutes after conceding with his Mbappe. The other change you can really report from Max is that Lucas Digne doesn't get the nod in this one. It's going to be Ferland Mendy that starts in that left-back area, and it's Hernandez that goes in at right-back. If you had to really be picky about France, they don't really have a right-back of choice. You have Pavard, who's your starter, but he's not the paciest of items. He's not the strongest or the best of items either. You sort of really want someone else to get a call up in that France team. And I tell you what, someone that's just jumped up above the rest is Paul Pogba there. A very unusual way of scoring from a corner this year. Normally the goalkeeper gets there, or a defender at least, but Paul Pogba leaping above the rest and firing Jungle Run back into the lead in this one.
Just floated into the box, begging for someone to leap up and get the head on it. Paul Pogba 10 yards out. Powerful header into the bottom left corner. Jungle Run, after being 1-0 down, now leads this quarter-final 2-1. As you were talking about right-backs, it's got to be Ferland Mendy for me. He's got a 5-star weak foot, and he offers that position, everything that you'll need from a full-back. And then you're playing Digne in his preferred position out as a left-back.
That's a great ball through. Is he going to be onside, Ben? And he's just got to stay composed. That's exactly what will do. The Monaco man able just to get round that last defender there. For a split second, I thought he could have been offside, Richard, but the timing was everything, and he had to stay composed, and that's exactly what Ben Yedder was able to do. Forget that goal from Jungle Run. That leash has been wiped away, and we're back square at 2-2 in another quarter-final within the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not watching a repeat of the first game. It is 2-2 going into half-time again, unless Max can take the lead here just in the dying embers of this first half. What a through ball, though. Deep through ball again. A very strong way of scoring in FIFA 21. The through ball from a deep position, from a centre mid or a CDM, just booting it out of play, getting us into half-time there. It is effective, and it is a very viable way of scoring goals.
Well, I mean, let's not forget either, Richard, that, you know, FIFA 21 this year is more attacking. There's more goals going in, hence why we're seeing these absolutely incredible scorelines. Last year, we'd be lucky if some games we'd see more than one goal before going into extra time. If you think back to sort of August and September, or even October, I should say, the last real matches that we saw on FIFA 20, much more of a defensive mindset on so many players in the Open Series. This year, it's all about attacking. I mean, forget about keeping clean sheets. It's more about outscoring your opponent. And once again, 4 goals within the first 45 minutes in our second quarter-final here in the December monthly finals. We are not being disappointed with the FIFA that is on display. 45 minutes still to come to find out who will be joining Ajdin Riyad in our first semi-final tonight in our final tournament of the year.
You saw the possession at half-time, 61% in the favour of Jungle Run. Max certainly playing more of a, you would say, counter-attacking-esque style.
It's been end-to-end FIFA between these two. It's an early goal from Max, and then Jungle Run making it 2-1. Paul Pogba, for me, went to the wrong corner there. I thought he was going to play it sort of against Hugo Lloris's natural angle. Instead went the other way, went to that right top corner. Hugo Lloris parried that away. Corner comes in. We're out as far as Ben Yedder now, where that ball has just been headed away. Here comes Max now, trying to find a way back into the lead here after responding just before half-time. Mbappe, acres of space. Oh, he's La Croqueta in his way, in and around the box to avoid that tackle and then to produce that finish is absolutely class from the German there. That is actually probably one of the best goals I've seen in the Open Series on FIFA 21.
The elastico to get away from the first man, and then as soon as he got inside the box, the dead stop La Croqueta combo. It's a very, very strong double skill move, executed perfectly right there from Max. And again, it just seems as though when he gets in that position with Kylian Mbappe, it's a real dangerous area of the pitch, because you can't tackle, you can't press circle. How many penalties do we get seen given, Brandon, for just flailing legs or just touching of knees and things inside the box? So you can't press circle, so you just got to sort of stand off, and that enables a player of Max's quality and Mbappe's skill repertoire to really have some fun inside the box.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a word on that, Richard. The way that he's predicted that there was going to be a tackle there from the defender, then, as you said, to input the dead stop and then the La Croqueta on top is absolutely remarkable. I don't think he gets enough credit there, because any other player is, you know, falling straight into a tackle there, getting their shot naturally blocked. But to have the wherewithal and to be, 1-2 steps ahead of your opponent, to input that skill move, and then to know that you're going to somehow find a way through the defender, the timing of it was really everything there. And Max, honestly, that has to be up there as one of the goals of the day. Really well taken there, Mbappe. We know he's the star of the show, but he's also got an extra couple of tricks up his sleeve. He might have another goal up his sleeve. Mbappe, he will. And that's a 2-goal cushion that's been instated into this tie for the first ever time. Max 99k is up by 2 goals, or 4 goals to 2, as the match currently does sit now. Into a pause for Jungle Run, but once again, Richard, it's the star of the show. It's Kylian Mbappe.
We're watching an Mbappe masterclass right now. Get your pen and paper out, because you want to be taking notes on how to use Mbappe, where to shoot, where to do skill moves, how to dominate matches through Kylian Mbappe. Love a little through ball, and just having the confidence not only in your own ability, but having the confidence in your player's ability, in Mbappe's ability to just shoot first time, even on his 4-star weak foot, just hit it first time straight across the goalkeeper and finds the top corner.
So sorry to interrupt you there, Rich. There's just a poll that's currently live in our Twitch chat right now. If you guys would like to get involved, it's a question I'll throw to you, Richard. Who's the biggest unsung hero of France in FIFA 21 this year? There's 4 options. There's Anthony Martial, Lucas Digne, Clement Lenglet, or Kingsley Coman. You can guess that Martial and Kingsley Coman are currently getting most of the votes. But in your opinion, who is the unsung hero?
I would probably go for Kingsley Coman. I feel as though, what a ball that is from Pogba, by the way. Mbappe in, on goal again.
Oh, wow.
What a finish!
That's a ruthless finish, isn't it, from Mbappe there? That's a hat-trick for him as well. 3 goals in quick succession. Mbappe pretty much says, you know what, we're into a semi-final here. Max 999k. Unbelievable finish there. Anyone expects that to go into the left top corner. He says, you know what, I'm just going to get my head down, put my foot through it, bar it in. That's a 3-goal cushion. And with 20 in-game minutes left, I do not see this game being thrown away. You may as well put the German into the semi-final.
Well, just going back to the unsung hero, I would say Kingsley Coman, just for the simple fact he's had a huge upgrade on his last year's foot item. You can see him right there in use. Perfect timing. Thank you, Kingsley. Thank you for that. Lacroqueta smashed past the goalkeeper, and a real... Last year in FIFA 20, he was sort of a bench player. Sometimes he would start, sometimes not. This year, he starts in this France team.
Yeah, he does, and he's obviously one of those players that he's just so good. I mean, I said 3 goals to be thrown away shouldn't really be an option, but what a response that was from Kingsley Coman. There was clearly a pause that was cued by Jongaron. Attacking changes were made. Look, there's 4 white shirts there, 4 French white shirts, trying to offer something to go forward with and to really pile on the pressure for Max in these dying moments of the game. If he gets another one before the 80th minute, this could really be a match that goes down to the very wire. I mean, looking at those options, I'll just check back in with what our Twitch viewers are saying. It's currently Martial that's leading the vote. Again, he was a player that wasn't in the team. Ball roll, there's Kingsley Coman. I mean, Kingsley Coman. It's like he's trying to get himself some extra votes in the Twitch chat. So another 3-goal cushion, and that certainly will be game, set, and match for Max 999k. The German, in his first ever Open Series monthly final broadcast, continues to put on a show. Our highest goal scorer so far as well. 6 goals he's put away. But as I was saying, Richard, the poll currently back in Anthony Martial, which is a good thing because he wasn't actually in the squad on FIFA 20. Of course, there wasn't as many updates with the national teams because obviously there's a lack of international football. The Euros are obviously postponed as well. If that would have had any sort of impact on the ratings and the changes late on into the FIFA 20 cycle. But Martial, it's great to see him involved in that French lineup and an option that you can choose. He's currently leading the way on the votes for the unsung hero of this France side.
And his addition into the team has come at the expense, unfortunately, for FIFA fans, of Ousmane Dembele. So I would be very intrigued to see, if you give a poll, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Martial or would you have Ousmane Dembele? Because I think majority of FIFA fans would vote for Ousmane Dembele. I know I would prefer to have him in my team if I could pick one of the two.
Oh, he's dancing in the box. Mbappe still with it. Back to Hugo Lloris. Just a couple of minutes here. We'll have a semi-final set in stone. And that, of course, will be, as we said, Max 999k up against Aydin 98. It'll be more than a consolation here from Ben Yedder. Great save from Hugo Lloris. And unfortunately, we'll have to say goodbye to Jungle Run. So close to making it into the top 4. So close to making it into the prize. Well, that's the full-time whistle. Plenty of goals going in. 6 goals he was able to score as well. Max 999k, his first ever Open Series finals here. The only German to make it into our final 8 as well. Does so well to ensure he books a place in the semi-finals. Richard, he's in the prize pot now.
Yeah, very happy, wasn't he, with that goal? We just saw him looking back on his Lacroqueta finish there inside the box. There was plenty of goals to choose from for this upcoming highlights. Let's have a look at some of the best moments from this quarter-final, Brandon. One that stands out to me is that finish from Mbappe, where he just absolutely leathered the ball off the crossbar. You see a little bit of goalkeeper movement there. I think he was going to get that. I think Lloris is on that ball, but because he took control of the goalkeeper, moved his right stick and tried to manually position him, it moved him back into his automatic position, and that was the reason that he didn't get the ball.
No, I completely agree with you there, Rich. There was goals at either end, and this is where the tables turn. Jungle Run goes 2-1 up here. Lovely ball into the box. It was deep into the box. Paul Pogba leaping above the rest. That made it 2-1. Then there was a response. This through ball was absolutely magnificent. And Ben Yedder, fantastic timing of his run. That made it 2-2. And then once again, the tables turned. It was time for France to go 3 goals to top. And I think this is the goal, Richard, that we were alluding to. Watch Mbappe now as he gets the ball to his feet. You see it here. Little scoop turn, cuts back inside, stop, turn there, and then the La Croqueta to get himself out of that hole. And Mbappe there with the goal celebration. Unbelievable finish there. And then it was just one-way traffic, Richard. The goal started to go, and we saw a 2-goal cushion. We saw a 3-goal cushion. And by that point, we knew that match was going to be in our first semi-final of these EU monthly finals.
Yeah, just have a look at this goal, if we've got it right now. Pogba, a couple of step-overs, releasing Mbappe, and look at the power and the emphaticness that he finishes that in off the crossbar. Absolutely no chance for Hugo Lloris to get close to it. And Mbappe flexing for us right there. 5-2 up. He knew that the game was all but over.
Yeah, it was certainly a performance to flex from Mbappe, wasn't it? Scored so many goals. We speak about unsung heroes. Kingsley Coman was someone else that continued to be spoken about as well. Was a super sub on this occasion. And this is how we are looking in our bracket. That's our first semi-final in paper, set in stone. It's going to be Aydin 98 against Max 99K of Germany. What does that mean, though, Richard? We've got to find 2 more names in our next semi-final. So it's going to be Kilo Boss against Rala Crew. It'll be 2 Italian players going at it in that one. We said the Italians and the Spaniards, they love the Open Series. But before we do that, Richard, I think we may as well have a little chat about unsung heroes in terms of France. We had the poll sort of speak on Twitch and people on YouTube talking as well. Martial took the vote in that. You said Kingsley Coman. I mean, I'd sort of agree with you there. It's a really tough one to call. Who is the unsung hero in this France squad?
And if you've not voted yet on the Twitch poll, I'll give you a little bit of information on why you should choose each player. Anthony Martial, not only is he a great winger, but also a fantastic striker. He's pacey, he's physical as well, and he's got an unbelievable finesse shot on him, one of the best finesse shots in FIFA. Lucas Digne, unsung hero because he fills a hole in this team. He can play left back, he can play right back for you if you want to play Mendy at left back. He wasn't available last year in FIFA, and this year in FIFA 21 he's part of the team and should definitely be in the starting 11. Clement Lenglet, we always talk about Rafael Varane, the best centre-back on FIFA outside of icons. Better than Virgil van Dijk, in my personal opinion, is Rafael Varane. But Lenglet just doesn't get the love that he deserves. So if you love a little bit of Lenglet, give him a vote in the chat. Go on. It's Christmas. Kingsley Coman, we've talked about how good Kingsley Coman is. He's such a good player in the attacking third. He is a starter in the team. He deserves to be a starter. Fantastic Champions League with Bayern Munich as well. And Kingsley Coman, a certain unsung hero in this France team behind the likes of Ben Yedder, Griezmann, and also the main man, Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, there's so many players in this France team and so many players that were introduced in FIFA 21. We hope there'll be a couple of squad updates as the Open Series continues next year in 2021 to see what new additions we could see into the France team. Because, as you said, the only thing they're really lacking is a proper right back, and we're talking an out-and-out right back here. Yes, you can fill the gap and the void for now. A proper right back, I mean, is Kenny Lala an option? I mean, his rating isn't the highest. I mean, he's had a number of special items if you're a keen foot player. But they need a sprinkle of 1 or 2 more substitutions as well, Richard. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, just a couple of pacey players.
Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah, get Ousmane Dembele back in the team, because I think you're right on that. Ousmane Dembele was a huge loss. If you're an Ultimate Team player, he's cheap, he's got the skills, he's got the weak foots, he's full of pace. He's just such a good option. I think if he was playing, we've seen players use him in a cam, in a lamb area. He would be in starting teams if he was part of this France lineup.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, then you'd have a real sort of struggle on who plays in your attacking 4, who plays as your front 2. Does Ousmane Dembele get in? Does Martial sit on the bench? So I think with Ousmane not being in the team, it makes it pretty straightforward who you're going to use. You've got 5 players to choose from, and who's the 4 that you're going to use? Coman, Griezmann, Ben Yedder, Mbappe, or Martial. But France seem to be certainly the chosen team. One of the semi-finals, though, is going to be Liverpool against France, if Ajdin Riyad does continue with Liverpool. So we've got that to look forward to. A little bit of dynamic in the semi-final. We've got to find 2 more semi-finalists, though.
Yeah, well, the best thing is, Richard, we could maybe be seeing that same scenario again because Liverpool are back in town. And here we go then. It's going to be Kylian Boss using France from left to right in this one. And it will be Raiola Crew, if I'm pronouncing that one right, from right to left with Liverpool here. We saw an interesting Liverpool lineup about 30 in-game minutes ago in our first game of the day. But it's 2 Italian players, Richard, going at it. Remember, we've seen the likes of Uprising Chris. We've seen Big Easy R. So many Italian players sort of announced themselves in the Open Series, mainly on FIFA 20. FIFA 21, bringing a couple of new Italians to the forefront here. And we'll give it a couple of in-game minutes to have a look at how both these teams are lining up today. But it looks... I wanted to say a 4-4-2 for a split second there.
I think it's a 4-2-3-1 for Liverpool. Diego Jota out wide, Salah out wide, Mane leading the line with Firmino in at cam. And then Jordan Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum as the 2 DMs, with a back 4 of Trent, Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and Andy Robertson. Sadio Mane looking to break the deadlock here as a central striker, slamming it against the post.
Yeah, nearly breaking the deadlock in the first in-game. So the first 10 minutes of this game. There's been so many early goals. We've seen 4 goals on average in the first 45 minutes of all of our games that we've seen so far today. To flip that on the head, it looks like we're seeing a very similar formation over with France. A 4-2-3-1, of course. You can say your Pogba duo there. Antoine Griezmann gets the nod out on the right-hand side. Mbappe and Ben Yedder down the centre. And Kingsley Coman starting. That will mean that Anthony Martial actually does go onto the bench for this game. And I don't know, for me, I know we always speak about this. I don't think Griezmann starts for me. I don't think he does.
He only starts Antoine Griezmann as the central cam. If you don't want to use Ben Yedder and you prefer Antoine Griezmann, he plays cam for you. But there's no reason. I would love someone to explain it to me why you're playing Antoine Griezmann out wide instead of Anthony Martial. In the wide area, you need pace. Martial has that in abundance over Antoine Griezmann. Unless you are looking to cut inside every time when you get to Griezmann and hit finesse shots, that's the only reason that I would say Griezmann has an advantage as a wide player over Martial.
Again, of course, let us know in the YouTube comment section or in our Twitch chat. We have got both of those up in front of us now in terms of, would you be Liverpool or would you use France if you had the opportunity in the Open Series? And of course, let us know maybe why. What a save that is from Lloris. Literally pinpoint range. It was Mohamed Salah had the chance. Could be another one there. Well defended by Rafael Varane. Just sticks out a leg and avoids that pass from going into the feet. Sadio Mane there. Well, that could have been a guaranteed goal. Here's Antoine Griezmann now. Again, hasn't got all the pace in the world. Hence why it's an interesting pick out in that sort of ram area. For me, if he's playing, as you said, Richard, he's got to be down the centre of the field where he can pick those opportunities on the edge of the box. He can finesse them in or just simply be that player to interchange with Mbappe. Here is Mbappe now. Drops the shoulder. Lovely little idea. But an even better save from Hugh, let's just say, Alisson down the other end.
Yeah, it was slow build-up, wasn't it, for France there on the edge of the box. As soon as he got into Mbappe, he had one idea, and that was to accelerate into the box. Chose the step-over skill move as his weapon. But Alisson matching it up.
Of course, we don't know who is who. Well. Here's Raiola Crew kicking from right to left as Liverpool in this one. And, of course, the usual France team for Kylian Boss. 2 players that have, again, made it to their first ever broadcast here in the Open Series. And that's one thing that FIFA 21 has brought more players signing up. Here's another chance. Lovely little bridge touch again. Oh, unfortunately, the double bridge touch wasn't what he was after there. It was Kylian Boss. Just a little bit too heavy, a little bit too keen on that. One of the sort of really effective skill moves this year on FIFA 21. And, I mean, after one of them, could have been a really good chance in on goal there, Richard. Maybe didn't expect for that first touch to be as good as it was. Well,
the goalkeeper at 6s and 7s, he moved him and the entire near post was wide open. If he would have shot with Wissam Ben Yedder there. just inputted the second L1R1 right stick flick touch on the bridge before he could super cancel off of it and get the shot away. Interesting signs, though. Promising signs for France in the opening 35.
And this is to find out first name in our second semi-final. As we said, all of our games here, best of one matches. It's a simple one and done, straight knockout. If we need extra time, we will use it, and we'll go to it. We've had a couple of penalty shootouts in our time here in the Open Series as well. Plenty of opportunity. All those matches to go right to the end until we find a winner. Here's Mohamed Salah now. The pace and got a lot of options in the box. He goes back to Henderson, who actually gets the start this time. They didn't actually start last time we saw Liverpool today, alongside Gini Wijnaldum. Again, another good example of two CDM partnership. Why does Fabinho not get the nod there, Rich? Is he just a little bit too slow for some players, or?
I mean, I would use Fabinho over Jordan Henderson. I think a lot of players would use Fabinho over Jordan Henderson, unless you're a big Liverpool fan and you like to use your captain in Henderson. I think Fabinho and Wijnaldum are the chosen two.
I think it's another great example of that perfect CDM partnership. We'll talk about that more after this attack comes in from Mohamed Salah. He tries to whip that into the box. Ferland Mendy stands strong and gets rid of the ball. But, you know, when you're building any team with a 4-2-3-1 or two CDMs, you want a defensive midfielder that's just going to sit there on the edge of the box pretty much 9 times out of 10, going to, move from side to side and break up the player, then get rid of the ball. Then you've got the likes of Paul Pogba, for example, or in this case, as you said, Gini Wijnaldum, that player that can go forward, Richard, and occasionally get on the score sheet, but more importantly, just get involved in the attack and add another number into the final third to make things difficult for your opposing player.
Well, I'll tell you why he's using Henderson and Wijnaldum. I don't think you saw that on the squad, but yeah, the little green arrows going upwards for Henderson and Wijnaldum, showing that their in real life performances have resulted in their in-game player items getting a boost. So Henderson up to an 87. I think Salah was 93 as well. So certainly improvements here for this Liverpool side.
We are back underway for the second half here. It seems pretty unusual, Richard, for us to not see any goals at the moment, because we've seen so many of them so far tonight. We've had 4 goals on average in 2 of our games already, and plenty of other goals to talk about, but 0-0 in this one between the two Italians in our final eight. And maybe they played against each other before, maybe they're good friends, or unfortunately, they might just not have been able to find a good chance on goal.
Well, there's been a couple of chances. Ben Yedder had that bridge touch at the near post where, or another day, it's a simple goal because the goalkeeper was not guarding his net efficiently. Mane, chance here, ball roll.
He will be. Sadio Mane, off the line. Clement Lenglet just throws his body at it, and then on the rebound, Sadio Mane just heads it into the side net in there. But 9 times out of 10, you don't normally have much control over your players in those sort of scenarios when you throw a player on the line and you're just hoping that the AI 9 times out of 10 can pull you out of jail. But Clement Lenglet, I think he chested that off the line.
Unsung hero. I knew you should have been voting for him. We're going to have to see that at the end of the game, because that was heroic.
It could be a chance straight down the other end. It's Mbappe, great save from Alisson, and out for a corner it will go. But chances at either end now. This game really does spice up into the final third of it as we approach that 60th minute mark. But what a block on the line. Clement Lenglet threw everything at it. Lucky he did get the block that he was after. Sadio Mane couldn't follow up with the rebound that he would have been originally after. Here's Robertson. Another chance to get that ball forward now. Into Salah. Into Firmino. Still a great chance here. Mane back to goal. He's going to twist and turn around his player. Still interchanging the 2 wingers very well, but got to a stage where it just got a little bit too tight in there. There wasn't any other way around.
I can't get over that block off the line from Lenglet. I thought it was a certain goal.
I mean, I've been there so many times as a FIFA player as well, Richard, where you can't do anything. You're preying on the AI, honestly, after time to pull you out of jail there. Mbappe does very well down this byline. Still is in possession somewhere. Back. What a ball that is to Kingsley Coman. Outside the boot pass, and Kingsley Coman just continuing his run on the inside there. A player that is usually out in that lamb area on the left-hand side, no way near the centre of the pitch. He knew Mbappe was out in his usual position. Used his whatever intelligence he had or whatever run that he was able to tee up there. That's an unbelievable goal, and that's our first one in this quarter-final, coming with just 22 minutes left on the clock.
Liverpool are kicking themselves right now. A couple of real good chances. I actually think the better chance was the follow-up header from Sadio Mane. It's seemingly like an open goal, and he's put it wide of the net. Manual heading, really not being his friend right there. This could be two, actually, on the counter.
This time it's Kingsley Coman that could be from goal scorer to provider. They're just going to let it on into Paul Pogba. Kante now. In the end, doesn't come to anything. But this is where Liverpool really have to just up their stakes. Here's Sadio Mane. Acres of space to run into. Is he going to go on his own? Cuts back. Jota. Bobby Firmino. Still with a chance. It's got to be an equaliser. It will be. Really patient there in the build-up from Raiola crew. And he's able to find the back of the net. It was a lovely interchange there. Just delayed and delayed and delayed. For a split second, I thought he delayed it for a little bit too long, did Sadio Mane. Then laid it off into Jota. He played into Bobby Firmino. And by that time, there was just a little bit of an arcing run from the Egyptian in Mohamed Salah. And he was able to find the back of the net in the end. Too many Liverpool players in my mind. But with 15 minutes left on the clock, the scoreline is all square at 1-1 here. Late drama in our third quarter-final here in our European monthly finals.
It was all about the patience that he showed there. He got the ball with Firmino. He could have taken a shot. He could have opened up a different avenue and looked to shoot, but he just waited for Salah to make the run again. Offered the overlap, and then a great finish just into the near post, past the goalkeeper. And Klebos right now has to come back and look to retake the lead again.
Kante. Let's change it back with Paul Pogba, his usual counterpart in the CDM areas. Ben Yedder, is he going to be involved in some late drama here? Deflection nearly falls to the feet of the Parisian forward in Kylian Mbappe. Last 9 minutes here. We're yet to see a game go to extra time. Last time we saw Liverpool in this scenario, it was Minamino off the bench in the dying moments of the game that snatched a win for Liverpool. Are we going to see more late drama? However, is it going to go to the hands of Liverpool, or is it going to go to the hands of France? Here's Mohamed Salah. It's Liverpool again with an even better save from the Reese to parry that one away for a corner. Watch out, Van Dijk's in that box alongside Joe Gomez. It's headed down. Oh, a bicycle kick just wide.
Very smart corner right there, playing to the height of Van Dijk. He headed it down. Mane from 4 yards out, unable to scoop the ball into the back of the net.
Now France could have a chance. If he can loot that run with Mbappe, well defended there by Joe Gomez. Last 3 minutes now in this quarter-final. It looks like it could have extra time written all over it, unless Liverpool can just create one more solid chance. Minamino has been substituted onto the pitch in that right cam area. And Salah obviously swaps flanks from him. He's out on the left now. Here is Minamino. Could there be a chance to get that ball across the box? The Japanese winger, still Minamino with it, just gets pushed off the ball by Ferland Mendy. A minute of additional time left. Will there be enough time to get that ball forward? It's got to go now if there's going to be any chance to get the ball forward. The referee will play this one on unless he pulls it back for a free kick. Anthony Martial dropping the shoulder. Still Anthony Martial with it now. Down the byline, tries to find a cutback. Looks like we'll be going into extra time here, Richard, for the first time in tonight's European monthly finals.
Yeah, 30 additional minutes of time going to be needed to separate these two. I'm shocked. I feel like Liverpool should have won this game. Liverpool should be in the semi-finals right now. There shouldn't be any contest. The chance with Mane, we got cleared off the line. The chance there at the end of the game as well. Mane again being the culprit, looking for a bicycle kick. I'm very surprised that this game is going into extra time, but with how the game's going, I wouldn't be surprised to see a France winner, in all honesty.
it's one of those moments, isn't it? The ball bounces back to Sadio Mane, and you're like, yes, it looks fantastic with the finish type that he went for, but you just get a normal sort of finish on that ball. If it's on target, 9 times out of 10, that is going into the back of the net. He went for the acrobatic effort, which, of course, he wouldn't have had much control on, and it was just wide off that left-hand post. Yes, it would have been a fantastic goal. So in those moments, you just wish that some of your players can simplify the chance. Good idea there. Try to whip that ball past Hugo Lloris and into the feet of the Egyptian winger, Mohamed Salah. We're into extra time now between these two. The scoreline at 1-1 between our two players. The spot in the semi-final up for grabs here, including getting yourself into the prize pot. Minamino, again, with a lot of space to run into. He looks to whip that ball across the box, which is going to tease the France defence here. Salah finds the feet of Jordan Henderson, the captain of this Liverpool side. Lovely turn. Got to be a great goal. It will be. A lovely little sort of fake shot drag back there of some sort from Sadio Mane. Sent Hernandez flying, and then by that point, Salah was already like 1 or 2 steps ahead of his defender there, Rich, and it was an easy tap-in.
It was a beautiful Cruyff turn from Sadio Mane right there. I think you were expecting a different skill move, a drag back, or a different skill combination, but as simple as it comes, just a fake shot going the other way. Cruyff did the perfect Cruyff turn right there. Simple pass across the box, and Salah taps it into an open goal.
I was going to say, I couldn't get the skill move to come to mind there. Of course, the Cruyff turn, a great little skill move that can be so effective and so efficient if done at the right moment. That was certainly the right moment. 98 minutes on the clock. 8 minutes into this extra time interval. And now France have got 22 minutes to try and find an equaliser here, or, you know, to go the extra step further to get an equaliser, and then a match winner. Otherwise, they'll be crashing out of the tournament. However, Richard, we could be looking at 2 Liverpools in our final 4 here, which is pretty groundbreaking stuff for the Open Series.
Yeah, I mean, imagine we could be on for an all-Liverpool final, potentially. I mean, 2020's thrown up many surprises, but if there were one thing I wouldn't have predicted, it'd be an all-Liverpool final in the December FIFA 21 monthly finals.
Look on a limb as well. That's never happened in the Open Series. There's always been a France in that final. I have to go back through the data files to back that stat up, but that is potentially, yeah, as you said, a groundbreaking fact.
Not done yet, though.
Oh, well done. Reverse elastico from Mbappe there. Forget the France fantasy. They're still in this game. An added time of just 1 minute. Mbappe there keeping me quiet. Forget Liverpool getting into a semi-final here. There's still so much more time left in this game. And there you go. What a finish that was. I mean, we've seen some fantastic sort of trickery from Mbappe. We saw the dead stop La Croqueta in that last game. We've just seen a lovely little reverse elastico there to pull away from the defender, to keep him in no man's land, and to find the back of the net. Mbappe has really been involved with some of our top goals of today.
What you'll see is a number of the skill moves that are being used in the final third all come from the dead stop. It's all from standing positions. Not many skill moves are actually done from running. It's usually dead stop and then a skill move. Dead stop, a reverse elastico. Dead stop, La Croqueta.
I mean, I've got another question for you, Rich. There's a poll currently running over in our live stream on Twitch, if you are watching on PlayStation's official channel. I mean, if you haven't looked at this poll already, have you looked at it yet? If you haven't, please don't look at it. Perfect. Right, I'm going to throw you on the spot. Let's just say the Twitch chat have spoken. All right, you've got Virgil van Dijk, Salah, Mane, and Gini Wijnaldum. Who is the most important player for Liverpool in FIFA 21? Who do you think that they have chosen?
Van Dijk.
You'd be correct. 39 of votes, or 81% of the votes, have gone to Virgil van Dijk, the defender there, which, I mean, I thought Mane would get a few more votes than he did. I know Virgil van Dijk has been sort of one of the sort of big cover stars, isn't he? And he had such a big year last year. And yes, he's had a really difficult injury in real life at the moment. But his in-game item, Richard, on Ultimate Team or head-to-head, he really is one of a kind, isn't he? Joe Gomez has really had a huge glow up. Could be a chance for France. He's just offside. But yeah, the Twitch chat have spoken. Again, get your votes in if you haven't already done so. But Virgil van Dijk stealing all the votes, so to speak, at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think fairly. I wouldn't say stealing, because stealing signifies that he doesn't deserve it. I think deservingly so getting all the votes because he's irreplaceable. How many people would not be Liverpool if Van Dijk wasn't in the squad? I think a number of them.
Yeah, we'll be dropping some more of those polls over the course of tonight's tournament. Currently the score, Kilo Boss 2, that's France, and Raiola Crew
He's in.
is Liverpool 2 in this one. Is he going to be offside? Yes, he will be, just slightly. Rich, we're about 2.5 minutes away from a penalty shootout. We saw it last time in Europe. Are we going to see it again? Oh, there's a mistake at the back. It's Sadio Mane, lovely heel to heel. Does do well to apply the back to Minamino. Bobby Firmino on the turn, back to goal, and that could be a match winner. Liverpool at the death again.
You jinxed it. You said we might be going to penalties. A mistake out of the back. And Roberto Firmino, he was the patient provider for the second of Liverpool's goals. He turns the scorer right now.
Raiola Crew is literally seconds of in-game FIFA time away. He's done it with Liverpool. Liverpool will continue this dream story in the Open Series. There is potential, ladies and gentlemen, of an all-Liverpool grand final tonight. They will be another name in that second semi-final. Raiola Crew in the all-Italian derby snatches a result. 118 minutes there. Bobby Firmino did so well when the ball came to him, Richard. A lovely little scoop turn. Slash accelerated fake shot away from his defender. And there you have it, right at the end. To be honest, looking at the stats, France had a lot more of the stats there and a couple of more chances, but it's not about the stats of the day. The only stat that matters is that scoreline, Richard. No penalties, just more late drama with Liverpool, so it seems.
And I know you love stats, Brandon. Liverpool being used twice today. Both goals, both games. 3 goals to 2 were the matches. What a block that is from Clement Lenglet. Can we just all have a moment to appreciate Clement Lenglet as not only as a footballer, but as a man. What a man he is.
I mean, you love him, don't you? You loved him on FIFA 20 in the Open Series. It's great to see your love has continued for him over the course of into FIFA 21. He certainly has been one of those unsung players for this France team. Let's have a look at some of those big chances then. This was that equaliser that we saw. It was really well shifted. It went from Mane to Jota into Bobby Firmino and then into the path of the Egyptian king in Mohamed Salah to make that 1-1 the scoreline. But we weren't done there yet, Richard. We saw more goals going and we saw an extra time period.
We did indeed. Sadio Mane here down this left-hand side. Look at that Cruyff turn. Beautiful back inside. Then the pass into Mo Salah to tap into an open net. We thought that might have been the game. But France answered back again.
They did indeed, Richard. It was France who answered back on the 105th minute just before that. Kante, Kingsley Coman, one round the corner. This was a really nice goal. See you later. Mbappe into the back and that lovely reverse elastico there. And then this was the big one, Richard. A mistake at the back. It was a lovely heel-to-heel from Sadio Mane into Minamino. That was a great turn. Really nice little accelerated shot around the corner. And then Bobby Firmino snatching that all-important result, Richard, and putting Liverpool, that's 2 Liverpools in our final 4, Richard. But who will be joining him? That is the question.
Yeah, Raiola Crew goes through 3 goals to 2 against Klebos. And now we have our final quarter-final of the day. Ronnie 2003 up against Sebastian Bash. If there was one favourite coming into the tournament, you would probably be looking at Sebastian Bash being that man. Can he live up to the hype? That is the question that we're about to find out.
And that will be the question indeed, Rich. So we got a Danish player, the only Danish player that made it into our top 64 this evening. A player that we know pretty well too. He was involved in the FIFA 20 Open Series in quite some detail and quite some length. And up against another Spaniard, the second Spaniard that has been involved here. Rayuni 2003, who will be joining Raiola Crew with Liverpool in our semi-finals. As you said, Richard, it's going to be France against France this one, so it could be what we are going to be looking at. A Liverpool-France across both of our semi-finals, which is really, really interesting. But the question is, you come so far, and this is such a big game. People don't understand. Today's tournament, it kicked off with a round of 64, so that means you need to win 3 games to make it onto the broadcast, Richard, where you've got all the people watching, you've got all the pressure, but the biggest part of this game, Richard, you win it, you actually get some prize money. You win the game, you guarantee yourself prize money and 12,000 FIFA points. So there's a lot on this game. In some ways, it's a little final.
Yeah, absolutely. Players. This is the opportunity to walk away with something. Do you know what I mean? Other than avatars or potentially something to show your friends. This is something cold hard cash to show for it after your weeks of trials and tribulations in the Open Series. I'm looking forward to seeing what Sebastian Bash we see as well. The last time I saw Sebastian Bash play, I was actually against him. I was competing in your tournament, Brandon, and we matched each other in the quarter-finals, and he beat me. I think it was 3-1 or maybe 3-2. I can't remember right now, but a very good player. That was an Ultimate Team where he had R9 Ronaldo to score the goals for him. What's he like with France in FIFA 21? We're about to find out.
Yeah, that's a great question indeed there, Richard. How good is this man going to be? It's going to be Rayuni 2003, maybe with the opening goal in this game, kicking from left to right in that blue strip, red socks of France. And then the only Dane in this tournament. Will he be the great Dane? Sebastian Bash kicking from right to left in this one. It's all to play for here in the Open Series in our European monthly finals. Again, if you have just tuned in, strap yourselves in. This is our last quarter final, and then we'll be into our semi-finals. But no, you're most definitely right, Richard. Of course, there's some fantastic in-game avatars and some other great perks that you can earn alongside playing in the PlayStation Open Series. If you want to see a little bit more about it, it's compete.playstation.com. There's plenty of links flying around in the YouTube comment sections and the Twitch chat if you guys want to sign up and maybe see if you've got what it takes. Mbappe trying to be the skiller again in the box. Unfortunately, no way through on that occasion. But yeah, I mean, a top 8 finish is great, Richard. Don't get me wrong, especially in your first Open Series tournament. But there isn't too much to show from it, is there? You know, there's no prize money on the line there. There's not a top 4 finish.
No FIFA points.
And there's no FIFA points either in the nicest way. So that's what they're all playing for. And it's a question of who's got that extra 10, 20% in the engine in tonight's monthly final. Sebastian Bash with his first chance of the game. Hernandez really far forward. Looks like he's in at left back for this France team. We'll give it a couple of in-game seconds and we'll try and digest how these teams are looking. It's Ferland Mendy in at left back. What is going on here? I'll tell you what. Composure at its finest from Rafael Varane and Clement Lenglet and Hugo Lloris there, making triangles happen for the Spaniard at the back.
Now look at the space that he's got. Sebastian Bash was using the team press. He was pressing so many bodies forward. He managed to play out of the press and now almost onto a straight back 4.
I'll tell you what, he's been so silky in the box with these skill moves. Griezmann this time. Back to Mbappe. He is the danger man, as we know. A couple of step-overs that time, still dancing in the box. He's twisted and he's turned. He's trying to find a little pocket of space to let rip with a shot. Sebastian Bash stands strong once again. And we know how referees can be this year on FIFA 21. We know how soft penalties can be given. You simply cannot dive into any tackle in and around the box. Chance now, Sebastian Bash. Mbappe drives away. There's a cutback. Is there a goal? There will be. Ben Yedder off the mark. Yes, it might have been Rayuni that's had all the possession and all the chances in the box, but that means nothing. Sebastian Bash on a counter-attack, and a counter-attack to remember there. Mbappe did so well, cut it back into Ben Yedder, and the rest was history. 1-0 for the Denmark representative here in the Open Series.
And again, the power of the bridge touch in the final third. Mbappe, beautiful illustration of how to do it right there. Opening up the space and a simple pass straight across the box. 1-0 after 25 minutes. The Dane leads.
Yeah, and it's that cam and striker, the perfect combo up top for France, linking up once again. That's the way that I would use them. I'm pretty sure that's the way Richard would use them as well. Ben Yedder and Mbappe causing havoc in that box. As you said, you win this game, 12,000 FIFA points is guaranteed, $100 is guaranteed as well. Alongside a top 4 finish, that's going to be a corner for Sebastian Bash. Third near enough of this game played. Remember, it's all best of ones here in the Open Series. Mbappe. It's a Ben Yedder. Try and dance on the ball. Lovely little flick over the top of his head from Mbappe. Looks for the cutback again. Mbappe's been loving that sort of cutback he's looking for every single time because he's got so many options there. Chance on the counter-attack. Mbappe and acres of space. This is going to be a chance now for a uni. He's done it a couple of times where he slowed down the play so much. It's quite difficult to find a pocket of space for him to work in. Again, well defended there by Sebastian Bash. Gets Ferland Mendy that time. In the right place. There's another poll in the channel right now. What teams do you think will make the grand final tonight? Will we see our Liverpool against Liverpool final? Will it be France against Liverpool, or will it be France against France? The winning vote at the moment is France against France. People do not think we're going to break this this sort of France story that we've seen time and time again. The reason we are giving you this potential storyline is because at the moment we know that both our semi-finals will be France against Liverpool. So there is a potential for...
I would probably predict France-Liverpool, in all honesty. I think
so, yeah.
Sebastian Bash, I think, will make the final. I think Ajdin Riyad will make the final, which would mean France against Liverpool.
I do think that France-Liverpool probably could be the way. Here's another chance now for Sebastian Bash if he can get himself down that byline. Does very well with it. Mbappe still in possession. He's trying to whip out any sort of skill move that he can in the box. Got to be careful. Make sure it's the right decision. Ben Yedder. Back to N'Golo Kante now. Can he find that ball around the corner? Yes, he can. Mbappe twisting, turning, dancing again. No way past Clement Lenglet. Probably the last chance of the first 45 minutes here. Seen it from both of our players here, Richard. They're sort of getting in the box.
Down the line. Oh,
they're
terrible
implementing
pass.
all the skill moves, but they're not able to sort of find the gaps that they're looking for.
Yeah, often phrase that has been said in England a few times, all the gear and no idea. In the final third, it seems as though we've got all the tools to have great success with the skill moves, but you see one shot on target for each player, one shot taken in general. So it's been a pretty slow first half, in all honesty. The one bit of real quality came from Sebastian Bash with the bridge touch inside the final third and did get a goal for it. But apart from that, not much to talk about at halftime.
Yeah, not too much to talk about as of yet in this one. I mean, quite a narrow game, probably one of our tightest matches we've seen. Yes, we saw a 0-0 for quite a long period in that last match, Liverpool against France, as we saw late drama in extra time. Bobby Firmino being the hero in the 118th minute. This time, as we know, Sebastian Bash leads by a goal to nil, but not too many chances to call upon. And next, another goal would be very much welcomed by our only Danish player in our final 8 here today, especially in the best of 1 format. We know 1 goal can win you a game. 2 goals certainly potentially could also. Any success there, can't get past Ferland Mendy, one of those fullbacks that is so difficult to get past because he's so pacey, he's strong. Interception statistics are so high too. Real menace to get past, whether he's playing in at left back or being that makeshift right back for France. Kante, lovely ball into Coman. Check back in on that poll in just a second to see what you guys think will be our grand final today.
60% think it's going to be a France final.
No budge. Still think it's going to be France against France. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. That will...
I can see why you would say that. Sorry, but I think we're forgetting about Max 900k, who we had the most convincing performance as of yet here. So he could certainly beat Ajdin Riyad in that semi-final. But I just think France against Liverpool... For some reason, I'm just feeling a Liverpool final.
It's Kingsley Coman. 30 in-game minutes left of this one. Our last quarter-final, then we will be into our Final Four. The last Open Series tournament of the year in 2020. Griezmann. Back to Mbappe. Coman now. He can to find a way around the corner. Mbappe, that's a great through ball. Martial can't get past Lloris, goes down to ground. That will be a corner, you'd think. Oh no, it's going to be a goal kick in the end. It was the last touch was deemed to be against the Manchester United forward. Ball's coming in from Rayuni.
It's a great save actually from Hugo Lloris. He tried taking it at the near post. It just sort of bounced off the goalkeeper.
Lovely ball. Is he going to be onside? Can he get around the goalkeeper? Went for the fake shot. Lloris just got a paw onto that. Mbappe still with it. La Croqueta. Back to Griezmann. Still, Kingsley Coman. What an interception that was from Hernandez. I don't know what he got on the ball, but he got something on the ball to intercept that one.
Coming across from fullback, Hernandez covering for his centre-halves. Very good last-ditch tackle there. Starting to get a little bit nervy in this game right now. with 20 minutes left to play.
Could be a chance. Reuni will be lucky, honestly, to get this pause before the 80th minute, in all honesty. Martial. Back to Mbappe. He's done very well, Sebastian Bash, to sort of withstand all this pressure that he's had to deal with, especially in the first 45 minutes, as you said, all the gear and no idea going forward. In terms of all the skill moves that are out there, being implemented with so much speed and so much pace. Hasn't been able to really come to a good chance. So only one shot to talk about as of yet. Lots of last-ditch tackling, last-ditch defending. Here is a chance now. Antoine Griezmann, he's got to be composed. This is going to be the best chance he's going to have all game. Great goalkeeper movement there from Sebastian Bash. And Hugo Lloris matching up the chance with a 5-star save.
Has to score. Has to score right there, does Antoine Griezmann. That's why Ben Yedder is used over Griezmann at camp. Ben Yedder scores that because he's not got a 3-star weak foot. You can go on the near post or you can finesse it into the far post. I'm not too sure why he went for Griezmann's weak foot in that scenario. I feel as though a chip would have been better, or even just a smash at the near post.
There we go. We are going to finally see that pause now, Richard, with 12 in-game minutes left. This will be Reuni looking to make a change. He's in the 4-4-2. As it looks at the moment, it'll be Ben Yedder that comes onto the pitch, and he'll be thinking, I wish Ben Yedder was on the pitch when that chance came to me. Because as you said, you hit the nail on the head there, Richard. When you get into those areas of Griezmann, you know he can only go on that right foot, because the weak foot, as you said, it's only 3-star. You're not going to take that risk, are you? If it was a 4-star, maybe so, but when you haven't got that sort of plan B, that backup option, it can be quite easy to read, and Sebastian Bash was able to read it superbly well. Griezmann could be through. This could be game over. Griezmann, and it will be. From missing a huge chance down one end to being the super sub of dreams down the other, Sebastian Bash, you'd think, would have booked himself a place in our last four here.
That's why he took Griezmann into the near post on that particular occasion, because he knew we were going to get the animation of the outside the foot shot. It all came from the short free kick, actually. No one picked Griezmann up as he ran off of the ball. Fresh player, plenty of pace and stamina to his name. I just feel as though Griezmann is a better player off of the bench than he is a starter for this France team.
I completely agree with you there. I just feel like if he had a bit more pace on him, I know it can sound ridiculous. His rating is pretty incredible as it is. His finishing stats are great. When you surround that with Kingsley Comans, Martials, people that have got so much pace, it's so difficult. Oh, that's not going to be great, is it? His day's just gone from good to bad for Reuni. Clement Lenglet, we've said so many good things about him, unfortunately, has been penalised there for a very soft tackle on Mbappe. Is it going to be 3 goals for Sebastian Bash? Gets a cheeky chip down the middle. And Hugo Lloris able to win that one just about, gets it away, and then he hits it at the back of the head of Mbappe for a split second. We're about to see.
Just rushing it in the final third a little bit.
Third chance there. 4 in-game minutes left. Sebastian Bash is minutes of real-life time and minutes of in-game seconds away from booking a place in the semi-final. It'll be the furthest he's ever been in the Open Series monthly finals. He was a player that we saw time and time again on FIFA 20. On FIFA 21, he's worked on his craft and he's come back even better and stronger. The Great Dane will be booking a place in the Final Four, and more importantly, a date, Richard, against that Liverpool side. Seconds of time left, and he's done really well, Richard. He's had to withstand a lot of pressure from Reuni in terms of the chances he had to deal with, the skill moves that he's had to go up against. He didn't need to dive into any tackles, and that's something that he never did. Never dived into a tackle. The goalkeeper movement, when it was needed, was absolutely fantastic, and a really deserved win, and a really hard-fought win, that for Sebastian Bash.
It was a pretty slow game compared to the other matches, wasn't it? I think the only game where we've not seen both teams score, both teams scoring both halves as well, in all honesty. It was a pretty comfortable win in the end for Sebastian Bash. And I think defensively, the best player we've seen today. Offensively, he didn't get that many chances. Really well taken there. Mbappe bridge touch down the line, and then the Ben Yedder finish past the goalkeeper. But it was a slower game, shall we say, compared to the others. This was the big chance to level it up. You've got to shoot near post there. The near post is so open with Antoine Griezmann.
I think what really surprised me, Richard, was how, as I said, you know, Sebastian Bash just stood all this pressure for a good sort of 17 game minutes. That was the chance for Griezmann from being sort of not the hero down one end to then being the hero for Sebastian Bash was pretty impressive. But this is your final four for the month of December, Richard. Only 4 names left. We have an Austrian player, we have a German, we have an Italian, and we have a Danish player in our final four. But also, Richard, what we have is 2 Liverpool sides and 2 France sides. Are we going to see an all-Liverpool grand final for the first ever time in the Open Series history? Or will France continue to reign supreme and continue their dominance in the Open Series, Richard? But that's a wrap for our 4 quarterfinals. We're going to head off for a quick break now, get a drink and refresh and get ourselves ready for those semi-final games. You also do the same. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes' time for those semi-final matches. Don't go anywhere. Strap yourselves in, it's going to be a good one. We are here today to bring you the action. Hello.
Fantastic finish.
Oh, it's an equaliser. Goals galore.
What a player he is.
There is so much on the line. Avatars, in-game fiends, money, FIFA points. We want to see you involved.
PlayStation.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at some of the most effective ways to score in FIFA 21. High scoring matches are going to be common this year in FIFA 21, and it's important to understand you have loads of options in front of goal.
The first thing that we're going to look at is the finesse shot. Basically, the finesse shot is where you hit the ball with the instep of your player's shooting foot. You initiate the finesse shot by holding R1 and then powering up the shoot button. It's all about finding the angle and then curling the ball past the goalkeeper. Stats that you're looking for are finishing, curve stats, and also the finesse shot trait.
It must be said as well that heading has returned this year in a major way to FIFA 21, Richard.
Absolutely. Heading has been completely overhauled in FIFA 21. Manual heading, you have to aim the ball and also power up exactly where you want the ball to go. You've got to practice, because when you first start, you are going to miss. It is going to be hard. Practice, practice, practice your headers. Near post, far post, from corners. Whenever you can, try these headers, because if you get it right, you will score plenty of goals.
Chip shots are also viable and a clever way to score this year, aren't they, Richard?
Indeed, chip shots are back in FIFA 21. Even if the keeper stood on his line, you can delicately loft the ball over the goalkeeper's head into the far post. If the goalkeeper's rushing out at you, simply tap L1, hold it down, and then power up your shoot button. You will chip the ball over the goalkeeper's head and make him look silly.
Although normal power shots may not be fancy, they are still a very effective way of scoring in FIFA 21.
Absolutely, Brandon. It's pretty much the simplest way of scoring in FIFA 21. All you gotta do, power up the shoot button, get your laces over it. If you've got a player with high shot power, these shots will fly into the back of the net. You can go far post, you can go near post, anywhere you like. These shots will be flying in to the back of the net.
And I'm sure many people would agree with me, Richard. Volleys are back this year and they're OP in FIFA 21.
Knock it to the back post, knock it to the front post, edge of the box, anywhere, and these volleys will be flying into the back of the net. Trust me, guys, you have to try volleys in FIFA 21.
Lastly, one of the cheekiest ways to score this year in FIFA is by taking it around the goalkeeper. It sounds simple. Is it, Richard?
Yeah, it really is. All you need to do, simply use the right stick and just roll it to the right or to the left. This will initiate the ball roll animation. So simple, so effective. You will be scoring those one-on-one chances simply with the ball roll.
Scoring is always fun in any year of FIFA, but FIFA 21 promises lots of goals and loads of ways to score them.
PlayStation.
Well, welcome back to the PlayStation Tournament Open Series December European Monthly Finals. We've just seen 4 absolutely fantastic quarter-finals. And that means that we've said goodbye to 4 players, and we've also said congratulations to 4 players as we are into our final 4. We are back, myself, Brandon Smith, and Richard Buckley for our final 4 action, Richard, which plans to be an absolute cracker. We've got 2 people using Liverpool, and we've got 2 people using France. A bit of a rarity for us here in the Open Series.
Yeah, I think if you look at their quarter-final results as well, this has got goals written all over it. Ajdin Riyad won 3 goals to 2 with Liverpool, whereas Max, highest scoring player so far in the tournament, 6-3 victory. He was sort of striding with his chest out really to the finish line. It was a very good performance by Max after it was 2-1 down, let's not forget, in that game, Brandon, and he won 6-3.
I mean, let's not also forget that we probably saw the goal of the day from Max, that unbelievable little stop on the ball into the La Croqueta, around the defender and around the goalkeeper there as this Liverpool side. But yeah, as you said, late drama. Ajdin Riyad, Minamino was the hero, a cross that was just whipped towards the back post, and the Japanese forward was able just to tuck that one home past Hugo Lloris. There's been lots of late drama involving Liverpool, but the one thing I love about Ajdin Riyad is how he is using this Liverpool team, Richard. It's a little bit against the usual meta of that Liverpool team. He's got Gino Wijnaldum playing to the centre mid. He's also got Trent Alexander-Arnold playing to centre mid. No Fabinho, no Thiago, no Jordan Henderson getting a look in that starting lineup. It's an interesting change, but it's one that sort of makes sense. If you're happy with playing with a sort of low-rated, pacey fullback, then go for it. But for him, it's worked, and it's something that's been working all tournament long for him.
In the front 4, that's where he's also mixing it up as well. He's decided to go with Diego Jota as the central attacking midfielder. Firmino as a striker. And then on the left, he's using Salah. On the right, he's using Mane. You usually would see those 2 switched over. The reason I think he's going with Salah on the left and Mane on the right is the reason you don't have to then cut inside to cross across into the back post. You don't have to cut inside to play a pass. You can just quickly fire it away on their strong foot and whip it to the back post. If you imagine you got Mane crossing on the right to the left, where's the ball going to fall for Salah when it's coming across the box? It's going to fall onto his left foot. So it plays into the strength of that aspect. The cut inside finesse shot isn't as good as it was in previous FIFAs, whereas the cross to the back post is a very viable way of scoring, and you're playing your best hand to that particular tactic.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Richard, you know, crossing last year was not a thing in terms of we didn't see headers, we didn't even see the opportunity to volley in at the back post. This year it has been a very viable way of scoring. Yes, there's been a couple of patches and a couple of changes to how good it's been or how effective it has been, but still we've seen a couple of goals today, Richard, scored from that simple cross towards the back post. If you're a keen FIFA player watching this now on YouTube or Twitch, give it a go. If you've got pacey wingers and you've got decent forward finishers, you know, go for it and go for those sort of back post crosses. I mean, we asked this question also to you guys in the chat earlier today about the France unsung heroes. What about the Liverpool unsung heroes, Richard? Who's in the list of that one? Who's the top 4 players that we look at and go, you know what, those are players that deserve a bit more of a mention?
Yeah, I compiled this list a little bit earlier on today, and I think these 4 players, they don't really get the credit that they deserve. Firstly, I've gone for Fabinho. I feel as though he's the second favourite child to Gino Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum's in the team every single time, whereas Fabinho, maybe not. The same with Gomez alongside Virgil van Dijk. And then the other 2, Firmino and Diego Jota, you can put them in the same category. They certainly don't get the limelight over their pacey counter-attacking players alongside Salah and Mane. Let's see if any of those 4 players can have an impact on this match right now.
Well, we have just thrown that poll out to you guys in the Twitch chat today as well. So give it a click, give us a vote, or even type out your message in the Twitch chat today, and we'll find out a little bit more about your team in the conversation. Now, I think we have got a slight technical difficulty there, as Olivier Giroud has never started a game in the Open Series. And I mean, even on FIFA 21, Richard, I don't think he is going to be starting yet. We'd love Olivier just to get a nod. It doesn't have to be a final. Just at some point in the Open Series, just give that man a run out. Imagine if he just suddenly starts scoring all these goals for Chelsea, gets himself an upgrade, Richard, and then he maybe gets a look in.
He got 4 midweek in the Champions League. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
he's a very, very good player in real life. He's the ultimate sort of goal scorer, you would say. Positionally, absolutely fantastic as well. I think maybe a flashback foot item could make him very usable. He just needs the pace up. That's all he's lacking, because he's got a great left foot. He's tall. He plays into the meta of having a tall striker. He's physical as well. Maybe a skill moves, get him up to 4-star skills, and then also maybe get that pace up. I think he would be very usable, Brandon, Olivier Giroud. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it would be unbelievable to see him involved in the team. He reminds me a little bit like Lewandowski, but about 12 ratings below and not as tall as the Polish forward of Bayern Munich. Of course, we're looking forward to getting into our first semi-final between Max and Ajdin Riyad. The one thing that these two have a little bit in difference between the both of them is that Ajdin Riyad has been to these sort of scenarios before. He's been to the broadcast of an open series in FIFA 20. He's experienced all that it takes to come with being in these tournaments. For Max, though, it's the first ever time he's been in it, but the goals he scored, Richard, the flashy, silky goals in the final third he scored, he's certainly enjoying his first outing here in the Open Series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can see a lot from a player's sort of personality and how they're actually playing FIFA in the goals that they're scoring. If it's a lot of getting down the wing, looking for cutbacks, looking for the real meta ways of scoring, you can see that they're all business, that they're wanting to score the best potential chances of scoring goals. Very much the pro way of playing. There's not a lot of pros who will take long shots. There's not a lot of pro players who look for lots of skill runs inside the box. But the players that do that can create skills runs, that can create those flashy moments. Houston springs to mind, and a player who is so good at creating the magical inside the box and inside the final third. He plays with no fear, because he knows anytime he gets the ball in the final third, he's going to be dangerous. He can score from different scenarios, from different angles. He can attack you from anywhere. And I think if you are playing with that confidence, it really does help you. Instinctive FIFA is the best FIFA.
Yeah, and as you can see, that sort of rolling bar at the bottom of our screen, what is up for grabs? $400 to our champion tonight. Everyone that's in these semi-finals has guaranteed themselves some serious money. $1,000 prize pot, of course, is up for grabs in every one of our monthly finals. You can also see that all-important link, compete.playstation.com, if you guys would like to sign up and get yourself maybe in our first tournament of 2021. And who knows, me and Richard could be commentating over your grand final. I can assure you there's a lot of people that made it to this last 8, even the last 16, Richard, that might have expected to get as far as they did in the first ever time in the Open Series. It's all about just giving it a go and seeing how far you guys can get in the tournament, because at the end of the day, it's all a little bit of fun, and who knows, it might be your starting block, Richard, to really enjoying competitive FIFA.
Question for yourself, Brandon. It's usually you asking me the question, so I'm gonna throw it back onto you.
Go on,
I'm gonna ask you a question. Ultimate Team right around the corner for the Open Series. Who do you think we're going to see most used in Ultimate Team in the Open Series? Is it going to be a cheaper player, someone like Joe Gomez, Ferland Mendy, Ousmane Dembele, or will it be a big dog? Will it be CR7? Will it be R9? Who do you think is going to be the big player and the most used players in the Open Series?
Yeah, as you said, we have got Ultimate Team around the corner. We've had a huge sort of foot kickoff for the new year as well. Please go and check out, again, it's that same link, compete.playstation.com if you want to get involved. There are loads of tournaments taking place at the moment. But I'm going to be a bit boring here, Richard. To be honest, I think it's going to be Varane and Gomez. Those sort of two basic centre-backs that I'd say are basic, that are unbelievable. We see Varane and we see Gomez. There's a reason why they're both involved in Liverpool, France teams. Then going forward off that, it depends what the restrictions are. If there are going to be restrictions in our tournaments, or if there's going to be, certain squad types that have to be followed. Cristiano Ronaldo has to get a nod. Mbappe should get a nod. Neymar, those players that offer you that little bit of trickery and, that really extra ounce of quality in the final third certainly will be getting a nod. But I think Joe Gomez, I'll just say Joe Gomez will be in 99.9% of people's teams in the Open Series in 2021. What about yourself? Anyone that comes to the tip of your tongue?
With Joe Gomez, the only real player that you're going to go for is probably Nick Pope as well. He would be one certainly in the teams as well. We're going to get back into the game very shortly indeed. Semi-final is just kicking off right now between Ajdin Riyad and Max 900k. I can see no Giroud on the pitch, so we are ready and raring to go.
Again, let us know in the YouTube comments or in the Twitch chat, if you are someone that would play with Ultimate Team here in the Open Series, who's that one player that is in your team? The first player that is in your FIFA Ultimate Team? Let us know. I saw someone in the chat also say Varane and one of their players that they would love to use. Here we go. There could be an early goal in this game. It's going to be Sadio Mane. Great save from Hugo Lloris. If you don't know who is who, it's Ajdin Riyad kicking from left to right in this one. And Max 999k from right to left as France. As we said, whoever wins this will be the first name of 2 in our grand final tonight, Richard. So much to play for and so much at stake.
Absolutely. Plenty up for grabs here. How are we going to get the Liverpool final? Or is it going to go back to the basics? Is it going to be France?
I mean, as you said, it's been an unpredictable year, Rich. I don't think we would have predicted many Liverpool finals. Is he going to be onside? Diogo Jota, he will be. Can he get round Rafael Varane? He goes for the cut back towards the back post, but there's just no Mohamed Salah there that he was looking for. Take your eyes, you're not dreaming. You are actually seeing Trent Alexander-Arnold in centre mid in this team. It's a very unique way of using this Liverpool team that the Austrian has chosen to use in Ajdin Riyad. It's Gini Wijnaldum and Trent Alexander-Arnold in those 2 CDM roles. And it does make sense, Richard. It's a viable way of using this Liverpool team. And there is a reason why he's in the top 4. We have to remember that. There's a reason why these players set their teams out in this certain way, because they're having a lot of success with it and they're winning game after game after game.
Yeah, absolutely. For these players to be in the semi-final, they've been unbeaten in the tournament thus far. They had to go through the weekly tournament with the Swiss and then make it into the knockout stage for the monthly finals and be unbeaten today as well in the knockouts.
Little fake shot there from Mbappe. Patient build-up now from Max. Can't forget the goal that he scored earlier today with Mbappe in the box. He's got the trickery when he needs to turn it on. He knows exactly how he wants to use the Parisian forward in the sort of final third in the box of his opponent. I'll have to clip that and have a little look back at that goal that he did put into the back of the net in his quarter-final. Lots of space on these flanks here. Mohamed Salah towards the back post. It's punched away by Lloris, and thankfully Ferland Mendy was there just to clear up the danger. That's where Liverpool are going to be their most deadliest, Richard, on those flanks where they've got the pace. And you can see it. Look, you can see Diogo Jota. He's just playing off that shoulder of Varane. I really push that back line as far back as it can go.
We talk about the formations a lot, but most of the time the damage is done in the custom tactics and instructions that are on the specific players as well.
Gini Wijnaldum pumps that one into the feet of Bobby Firmino. This could be a dangerous chance, and it will be the opening goal of the game in this semi-final. Liverpool have looked deadly, especially that man, Diogo Jota, the player that Liverpool really needed this year on FIFA 21. There was reasons why they weren't always used on FIFA 20, and it's because they were lacking that extra option going forward. There was only so much that Roberto Firmino offered you in the final third. They needed that other player, that winger that could play as a striker, that player that offered you a little bit of pace and that real sort of final touch in the final third. And Diogo Jota has been that for Liverpool, and he's going to be the one that breaks the deadlock in this semi-final here. It's Ajdin Riyad that finds a way through, and straight away from the kickoff, it's Max looking for an equaliser or a reply. Jota, Richard,
the red shirts behind the ball, though.
It's been what Liverpool have been after, really, in terms of if you're a FIFA player.
Oh, absolutely. They were waiting for another attacker to get into the starting 11. Minamino wasn't it, but Diogo Jota certainly is. Kingsley Coman looking to find a way inside the box. Siscamas just does enough alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold. That goal, Brandon, was all made about 2 very particular passes. It was a Gini Wijnaldum reverse ball into Roberto Firmino, which was a double tap, and then Firmino repeated the favour of the reverse pass into Jota's feet. 2 reverse balls, creating so much confusion across that back 4.
Yeah, it was really well done, wasn't it? Here's another chance. It could be another goal. Mohamed Salah. I don't know why he went on that left foot and tried to bull roll onto it. For me, I felt like he would have had a bare chance going across the goalkeeper there of Hugo Lloris. The corner played short. Scooped up into Diogo Jota, who's dancing in the box, quite literally, juggling that ball towards his opponent's goal. Don't get me wrong, I've played against many that have done that, on-foot champions, and for a split second, you're like, I can't get the ball back here. I can't win the ball back. Ferland Mendy with an overload on this left-hand side, dinked into the path of Ben Yedder. It's just gobbled up by the Brazilian shot stopper in Alisson.
I'm not sure why he crossed that, to be honest. I feel as though you've got Ferland Mendy high up the pitch there. Take a shot, in all honesty. Look for the rebound off Alisson. There's no real height in that attack for France. Mbappe's not tall, Ben Yedder's not tall.
Mbappe still. This will be the last chance of the first 45 here. Remember, this is our semi-final stages. We're in the Open Series in Europe. Winner of this guarantees himself $300 alongside a place in our grand final tonight. Who will be that first team there? Will it be Liverpool? Will it be France? At the moment, it will be Liverpool. And that will do us for the first 45 in-game minutes here, Richard. An exciting start to this one, but that's got to be a stat you've got to be proud of. No shots to be seen and no shots to be registered from this France side at all, Richard. That's got to be something that you're going to be confident about.
Yeah, very dominant first half period for Liverpool right now. Zero shots on target for France. He got into opportunities where he could have shot, but he looked for the one more pass. He looked for the perfect opportunity to get a goal back instead of taking a pot shot, shall we say.
Here we go, we're back for the second half now. As we said, it's still best of one matches here in the Open Series. It's the same format all the way towards our grand final. We're yet to see a penalty shootout yet. We've seen extra time once today where it was Liverpool that snatched the last-minute winner. Here's Mbappe. Could he find that pocket of space? If Kingsley Coman can slide him in, he can't. Lovely little La Croqueta. Kingsley Coman, I think, just got the wrong pass there. Scoop turn of Martial, and just kneed away in the end by Virgil van Dijk. Corner played quickly. Diego Jota there.
Counter.
Get rid of the danger, and there could be a counter-attack here. Look at the space. Look at the opportunity here for Mohamed Salah to just run and run and run. It's a 3-on-1 at the moment. This is where you've got to be perfect in these match scenarios. Mohamed Salah on his own. Was it the right choice, Richard? I'm not too sure if it was.
The pass was there. He had Firmino and Mane both queuing up.
It's one of those, isn't it? There's just so many options. The ball's moving so fast as well. 3 players there. All could have been an option. In the end, he went on his own with Salah. Maybe he thought to himself he had the best chance of scoring with the finishing stats that he offers, but it's quite a routine day for Lloris. Still Liverpool in possession now. Last third of this game could be Diego Jota, and it will be the Portuguese superstar that bags himself a brace.
I feel like I'm getting deja vu. Another reverse pass. He looks to go one way and then just quick turn with Gino Wijnaldum. Plays it into Jota's feet. And what an impact Diego Jota has had on this Liverpool team.
Of course, not just on FIFA, in real life as well. You've seen the promo items that he's had, and I'm sure with the way he's playing, he's continued to have all of Liverpool's injury woes as of late. They've needed a player that can step up and score goals, and the Portuguese player signed from Wolves has certainly been that. Here's Mohamed Salah. Dinked in towards that same Portuguese player again. That time headed away by Varane. There's 28 minutes left in this tie. I honestly expect to see a pause coming in from Max. A change that maybe he needs to make in terms of get that depth forward, get that press forward.
Don't think he's had a shot on target yet.
Potential options off the bench as well. I can't see Antoine Griezmann on the pitch as of yet. He could be an option. Mbappe trying to turn on that flair that we've seen from him in the quarterfinals today. He runs straight into Gino Wijnaldum. And I'm just loving this Liverpool team at the moment, Richard. They're playing so well. They're ticking over well. And it seems like every player that is in the position is there for a reason, because Diego Jota has been the perfect example of a number 9.
Oh, yeah. Out and out striker, Diego Jota, right now. He's almost, I would say he's been the best player for Liverpool that we've seen today. We've talked about Virgil van Dijk, and he's always resolute at the back alongside Joe Gomez, but Diego Jota has been a match winner for Liverpool.
Here's Ben Yedder. Back to Pogba now. This is where France needs something to hold on to. He can't fake shot his way into the back of the net. It's what he's trying to do, but time isn't on his side. Lovely long ball forward. It's Varane that's there. Is he going to be onside? Yes, he is. Liverpool could be dangerous here. They could be through. Plays that one more pass into Sadio Mane. He's going to be onside. Goes on his own. It's just tipped over the bar and out for a corner. This is everything.
Looking for the near post, doesn't he?
As Riyad would have wanted now, Richard. Look at Diego Jota dancing again. Those flick-ups. They're so hard to defend at times without giving away a foul. This is everything that Ashton Riyad wants right now. Him in possession. Time ticking down in his favour. He's got the scoreline behind him as well. It's 13 in-game minutes, ladies and gentlemen, away from another grand final. Diego Jota is inches away from a hat-trick. Nearly got it there if it wasn't for a last-ditch tackle from Rafael Varane.
Max has really struggled to create in this game. Every time he gets the ball, it seems there's a red shirt in the way, looking to intercept, looking to just be a nuisance, I think, the biggest way of putting it.
Could be a chance later on. Oh, it's just over the bar. When he's needed those big moments, Richard, they just haven't been in his favour. I think that's honestly the first shot we've honestly seen all game today. Yet to really register one on target has Max. A late pause in from Ashton Riyad. He's probably looking to bring on those late substitutions. Chance round the box. There could be a goal, and it will be. Perfect time to score with 7 in-game minutes left. You can see the attacking change there that was made by this France side. It's a narrow 4-1-2-1-2. It's Antoine Griezmann that will now be introduced. That'll be the only change in the dying moments, Richard. But 7 in-game minutes left. That's Max's first real shot on target. Lucky enough for him, he found the back of the net.
Again, a little bit of goalkeeper movement. I think you were expecting a shot into the far post. Martial went near post and slotted it past Alisson. With 7 minutes left to play, I wonder if that goal has affected Ashton Riyad's thought on his substitutions, because he paused it before the goal had gone in. I would expect Fabinho to be introduced right now for Ashton Riyad. Pause cued again here. It's going to be Max making no changes. Ashton Riyad wanting another 45 seconds.
Yeah, we'll take it back. It was his second shot on target in the game, but before the first half, we saw nothing from the German player in Max. He's got 7 in-game minutes to try and find a chance, to try and create something. All that Liverpool have to do and Ashton Riyad have to do is just see out this game. Keep possession, try and find maybe one more goal and use those 2 super subs. He's just brought one of Fabinho to tighten things up in the middle. I can assure you he should probably come onto the pitch. And Minamino out on that right flank to offer some pace to get that ball as far away from his goal. Here we go then. Those are the changes. Diego Jota's off. What a game he has had today. And there are the 2 changes as expected.
Fabinho,
Probably,
yeah.
Just say Fabinho and, of course, it will be Minamino with that pace on that right-hand side. 6 in-game minutes left. All you need is one chance, but getting that chance is going to be the difficult part in this.
Just looking to hold on to the ball. Expect the team press. Quick instruction to be implemented here from Max. Look at those white shirts flying forward right now. I've got a lot of room.
I mean, we've all been there as a FIFA player, Richard. Those are the moments where you really don't know what to do. You've got literally 5-6 shirts chasing at you, making things difficult. 2 minutes left. Fantastic feat there from Salah. He's won the throw, and that's going to be in his favour now. Minute 30 left. That's the break forward. Really well done. This is where you see how composed the player is. In FIFA, just lost possession there. Back to the feet of Sadio Mane. Still is in possession of this Liverpool side. It looks like we are going to be seeing a Liverpool in our grand final tonight. Unless the referee wants to play just one more attack on here. We've played our 1 minute of additional time. Is there any more time? Ferland Mendy does well to dodge the tackle from Robertson. He tries to make another interception. It's into the middle now. Chance, back to goal. Martial! And all my days! Literally seconds of FIFA time away from a place in the grand final. The referee says, no, we're playing on. We're playing the advantage of this attack. 3 minutes it was at the end, Richard, added time. And Anthony Martial becomes the hero for this France side for Max to take this into extra time.
Talk about late drama. He got it down that right-hand side with Phil and Mendy, and he just kept on going and going and going. And as soon as you start to get near the box, you start panicking. Anthony Martial was seemingly the forgotten man in that game. I didn't even know he was playing still. He's playing as a left centre mid. Pops up, smashes it past the goalkeeper, and does he stick in the 4-1-2-1-2 now, or does he go back to a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1? They're the questions. He had his most success in this 4-1-2-1-2 formation. Plenty of questions left to be answered.
Those questions will be answered, Richard, in these 30 in-game minutes we're looking at now. Rabiot comes on for Paul Pogba for France, but that's what we wanted to see from Max. More chances, more opportunities created. Came down to the dying moments in that game. And now Liverpool have to go back to the drawing board again to try and find a piece of magic for the current Premier League champions to book a place in our Open Series monthly final. If you have just tuned in, this is your semi-finals. Minamino, a great save from Lloris, parries that one. As far as Theo Hernandez, still this isn't dealt with though. Back to Liverpool it will go, well played by Clement Lenglet. This is where the table's concerned. This is where things can get dangerous. Look at that back post there. I think it's Mbappe, who's got acres of space. What's a ball this could be? Antoine Griezmann, just stay composed. He just offloaded it to the feet of the wrong player.
The pressure is getting too much for these two right now. I don't know how he's managed to not score that. He went for the pass. Just hit it with Griezmann.
Even a cheeky chip at one point, I honestly thought was a viable option. The keeper was just teased off his line. What a ball this could be for Liverpool off the post from Bobby Firmino.
What a game.
Chances at either end, both squandered and both missed. We're in extra time. One goal can win you a game. Pretty much looking at a $300 goal. Whoever scores it probably will be in a grand final. 3 minutes left of this first half in extra time before we go into our last 15 minutes here. A grand final spot on the line between these two. Coman. Back to Lenglet. Martial. France patient with the build. They were patient in the dying moments. The normal 90. Anthony Martial snatching a last-minute equaliser to send us into this extra time situation we're in. Watch the back post. There could be a whip. Ball towards that area. Mohamed Salah in acres goes for the cutback. Sadio Mane defended well out for a corner. It will go.
You saw him play a lock onto Mane. Still alive.
Chance. Gini Wijnaldum! Oh my days! Drops the shoulder. Does the Dutchman? Of all people. We'll say it time and time again. When you've got your two centre midfielders, you've got to have one player that can go on forward and can score goals and can make things happen. Gini Wijnaldum there. Just a bit of absolute magic. Drops the shoulder, gets past the defender, and fires Liverpool back into the lead here.
Unbelievable from Gini Wijnaldum. That step over inside the box. Just I talk about instinctive FIFA. That is 100% instinct right there, because there's no real reason why you think I should step over here inside the box and try and... That's not something you think about. That just happens in the spur of the moment. A real bit of individual magic from Wijnaldum.
Well. 15 in-game minutes here. Are Liverpool going to squeeze their way past this France side and Max 999k of Germany? Or is there more late drama in the Open Series? It certainly has delivered. What a way to round out 2020 in terms of the Open Series action. Is there more drama? Mbappe now. Back to Griezmann. Still with Griezmann!
Goal for the visitors.
And we're all square again, Richard.
What an absolutely outrageous game of FIFA we're watching right now. End to end, the entire game. Whatever you can do, I can do better.
As we said before, we will go to penalties if we need to go to penalties. That's one Griezmann, a player we often look down upon, Richard, in terms of why He starts for some players. Yes, he's that super sub option, and he's just proved his worth once again. Ball towards the back post for France. He's headed away. As far as Rabiot, he's fresh off the bench. His energy in the midfield will be instrumental in terms of France trying to create a chance here. 6 in-game minutes left. There is still nothing to separate these two. 3-3 the scoreline in this semi-final. A game that's given us everything, other than penalties, which might potentially happen if these two can't find a way through in the last 5 in-game minutes.
I still feel like there's a goal. This could be it.
Back to Griezmann. Surely not, mate. More late drama here. Rabiot. Get past Virgil van Dijk. Really well done. Last chance here now for Liverpool. 2 more minutes.
In.
Flick through ball. Is he going to be onside? Yes, he will be. Sadio Mane of acres of space. Sadio Mane! And that could be a goal that's worth $300 alongside a place in the grand final.
And that's why he put Sadio Mane as the out-and-out central striker. The pace, as soon as he got away from that back four, he was in. All he had to do was keep his composure. Smashed past the goalkeeper, emphatically slotted away.
He's there more, Richard. A semi-final that's given us everything. 7 goals between these two. Extra time and everything. Long ball forward. This is in Liverpool's hands now to throw away. Is Ashdin Riyad going to be back in another grand final in the Open Series? He did it on FIFA 20. And he's seconds from doing it away on FIFA 21. Referee, conclude the game. And there you have it. Liverpool put a place in our grand final for the month of December, Richard. I mean, we have seen some unbelievable games today. We've commentated on the Open Series for roughly about 4, 5, 6 months across FIFA 20. This is our 2nd month on FIFA 21. This has got to be up there. One of the best European finals we've seen, Richard. The quarterfinals were great. The semi-finals have been even better. And Liverpool took a place in the grand final.
What a game that was. End-to-end FIFA the entire way through. Ashdin Riyad snatches it in the 119th minute. Sadio Mane, as you saw it on the minimap, he just started making the run straight. And as soon as he was past him, all he had to do was play the pass at the right time. Make sure that he didn't stray offside. We can have a look back at some of the best moments from this game. I'm just having a look now at the chat. A lot of people saying, brilliant game, what is going on? GG's all round for a number of these two players. Fever saying the pace from Mane was the winning decisive factor in that game. Great game.
And again, that's got to be the game of the night. What a game it was. 7 goals between these two. We're looking at some of those highlights from the match. It was 2-0 for Liverpool. And we thought it was job done, Richard. We thought they were going to be saying, right, Liverpool, you are in to a grand final. But then this happened. Ferland Mendy just did not say no, did he? Tried to get past the fullback there of Robertson, cuts it back inside, and then Anthony Martial, out of absolute nowhere, pops up and sends us into extra time.
We went into extra time. It was the 82nd minute, and Liverpool were 2-0 up. 105th minute, Junior Wijnaldum embraces his inner Cristiano Ronaldo here. Step overs inside the box and smashed past the goalkeeper into the bottom left corner. And we thought that might have been it. But France answered back again.
They did, Richard. They never said no, did they? They kept on creating chance after chance after chance. And then we saw this one. Look at this magic from Griezmann. Does so well to just get past 2 of those players that were so close to him. And then there was even more drama. From one chance down one end with France to then this one, Richard. Talk me through it.
You saw Mane. He pointed where he wanted the ball. Lenglet not quick enough to get back. Mane, one-on-one. All he had to do was keep his composure and rifle past Hugo Lloris into the bottom corner. And that will solidify Ashdin Riyad into our grand final. All we need to find out is who his opponent will be.
Yeah, that's how the bracket looks right now. 4 goals to 3, Ashdin Riyad. Big result. 7 goal through in our semi-final. That has to be the game of the day. That means Liverpool are one of the teams in the grand final. But the question is, we asked you guys earlier, who will be joining? Will it be a Liverpool again? Or will it be France with Sebastian Bash, Richard, all to play with here? And wow, I mean, I'm looking forward to this one. It should be 2 players going at it once again. But this time, will it be 7 goals?
Yeah, unbelievable game right there. Raioli crew up against Sebastian Bash will be taking place very shortly indeed. Game of the day right there. Game of the month you would even say, between Ajdin Riyad and Max. Can Sebastian Bash and Raiola crew live up to the expectations? We'll find out very shortly indeed.
Strap yourselves in, it's going to be a good one. We are here today to bring you the action.
Oh, fantastic finish.
Oh, it's an equaliser.
Goals galore. What a player he is.
There is so much on the line. Avatars, in-game fiends, money, FIFA points. We want to see you involved.
PlayStation.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at the strongest formations in FIFA 21. This is somewhat of a polarising topic because every single formation has its pros and its cons. It always comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. With that being said, what's our first formation, Richard?
It's the tried and trusted 4-2-3-1 formation, Brandon. This is what you tend to see a lot of FIFA pros use at the very high level. Mainly because of the two CDMs, they're like anchors in front of your back four. They patrol left to right, breaking up play, and they are the catalyst to this formation's success. Another big important thing in the 4-2-3-1 is your central attacking midfielder. Having 5-star skills or 5-star weak foot is imperative to the 4-2-3-1 success. If you're a new FIFA player, trying competitive tournaments, play the 4-2-3-1, get your foot in the door. This will help you improve.
Next up, the 4-3-2-1 is once again one of the favourite formations in the FIFA community this year. Why is that, Richard?
The 4-3-2-1 allows you to counter-attack at breakneck pace so quickly. Your right and left forwards cause a lot of danger, running in behind, forcing players to always be looking over the shoulder, defenders running back to their own goals. It's not what they want to do. That can also cut inside, offer great shots into the opposite corner, and the back post cross is arguably one of the most OP things in FIFA 21.
Another popular formation this year is the 4-2-2-2. Care to explain why, Rich?
It speaks for itself. You literally have 4 attackers going forward. You have your 2 strikers and then your 2 central attacking midfielders. You have so much goal potential in this formation. The main real key in this formation is your CDMs have to be elite tier. We're talking Kante, Pogba, Goretzka. These sort of players have to be used in this formation. But if you want goals and you want quick attacks, the 4-2-2 is where you should be looking.
Lastly, Richard, let's look at the second variation of the 4-1-2-1-2.
This is what people like to call the diamond, and it's a diamond in the rough in FIFA 21. If you're a fan of tiki-taka, this is the formation for you. It allows quick and easy passing from your centre midfielders to your CDM to your central attacking midfielder. We're always working in triangles in the 4-1-2-1-2. You have 2 strikers, they're never isolated. They've always got one of them to bounce off of in the 4-1-2-1-2. Again, attacking FIFA will be coming your way in the diamond.
These 4 formations are very strong in FIFA 21, but that's not to say that another one won't suit your own play style better. Don't be afraid to try a few of our own suggestions until you find the one that you personally enjoy.
PlayStation.
Well, welcome back once again to the PS4 Tournament Open Series monthly finals for December. What a semi-final we just witnessed there, Richard. Of course, myself, Brandon Smith, and Richard Buckley taking you through all of the action tonight in our monthly finals for Europe. Of course, we're doing North America a little bit later on this evening too. Before we get there, we've got to find another name in our grand final, Richard. But that gave us everything. The Twitch chat enjoyed it. The YouTube audience enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it. 7 goals, and Liverpool just causing more late drama.
Yeah, it might be quite blustery and snowy in the UK right now, but that one was an absolute thriller. Just keeping me nice and toasty in December. What a game it was. I mean, you didn't know where it was going to go. And they're the best games where you can't predict who's going to be the winner. You can't predict if it's going to go to penalties, if there's going to be a late goal, a mistake. Because most of the time in games like that, mistakes are what prove the difference. But what a game, and guaranteed Liverpool in the final. Is it going to be a Liverpool derby, or is it going to be a Liverpool-France absolute battle? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be the Italian up against the Great Dane, as we call him, Sebastian Basch, one of the only other players that has been involved previously in the Open Series. It's the furthest he's ever been in the Open Series, and he played a really nice game. I mean, it wasn't a game that gave us everything, but it was a 2-0 victory, a really well-defended match for him as well. Created a couple of chances, scored them both. On the other side of that, it was the Italian game where we saw that Liverpool side cause more late havoc, Richard. 118th minute winner it was for Bobby Firmino. That was enough to book a place in the semi-final. If you don't know what is on the line for this, of course, a prize pot worth $1,000 split between the top 4. We'll talk you through how that does break down with the top 4, Richard, because there is some serious money on the line here in the Open Series.
There is indeed. We try and find out who is going to be taking home minimum $300 in our next game. First place will take home $400, second $300, and third and fourth, the 2 losing semi-finalists, will bat it out in a third and fourth place match off stream to find out where the extra $100 will be given. The top 4 players in the semi-finals in the monthly EU finals and NA finals in the Open Series will also be receiving 12,000 FIFA points.
Yeah, well, as we've already said previously, we will be live again later tonight for our North American monthly finals in this exact same spot here on PlayStation's Twitch and YouTube channel. I've just heard that we are ready to go into that matchup now. It's going to be time for our second semi-final. Remember, who is going to be joining them in the grand final? Will it be an all-Liverpool matchup? That will be one hell of a way to end 2020. Or is France going to claw it back and make it up for that usual match that we used to see in France against Liverpool? Those are by far the 2 most popular teams, Richard, in the Open Series. And here we go then. We are underway in our European semi-final. Our second one. Who will be joining Ajdin Riyad in our grand final? 19 game minutes of FIFA will tell us that story. And fingers crossed, we might have 7 more goals to talk about, Richard.
We're seeing Liverpool against France used here, but it's a different way of using Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold now in his familiar position of right back, with the captain, Jordan Henderson, taking up the CDM spot alongside Gini Wijnaldum. Robertson at left back, Diego Jota out wide on this particular occasion. It's Firmino at cam, with Sadio Mane leading the line as the out-and-out number 9.
Yeah, different way of using this Liverpool side, but nevertheless, it's still been a great way to use this Liverpool side. We've seen how deadly they have been in the final third, whether it's Diego Jota scoring the goals or Sadio Mane as this out-and-out striker being that catalyst and that goal scorer for Liverpool. On the other side of that, for Sebastian Basch, quite a solid Liverpool team. Ferland Mendy goes out to fill the right-back void that, of course, France do have. And it's Ben Yedder, Mbappe, Kingsley Coman and Martial that make up that sort of front 4 in the 4-2-3-1. Griezmann makes his way onto the bench. And, of course, your usual faces of Kante and Paul Pogba in the 2 CDM area, which you do expect to see. Who will come out on top? Will it be the Italian and Riola crew, or will it be Sebastian Basch, the only Danish player to make it into that top 64 today in tonight's bracket? Lovely cut back inside. Could be an opening goal in this game. Well played, Ferland Mendy. Still not fully dealt with, and it's a double save. He's just offside, Mohamed Salah. But early warning signs, Richard, fired at Sebastian Basch.
Very interesting. Sebastian Basch, in his quarter-final tie, kept a clean sheet, didn't actually concede a goal. The main thing is, it was offensively not as free-flowing as the other players that we've seen here in the Open Series. Didn't create that many chances. The 3 chances that he did create, he took, though. He was very clinical.
Speaking of one of those chances, we could be seeing them right now, Rich. He's loving Just that one more pass in the box. We saw it there from Mbappe trying to play. It was the midfielder on there in that right area. Varane goes in the air, looks for a double header. Alisson will just about snatch that one out of the grasp of the Real Madrid centre back. Long ball forward. N'Golo Kante happy to get back and offer his part in that CDM duo. He's more of the defensive-minded player. Some good pace on him as well. Can be very much instrumental at the right time. 21 minutes played here.
Similar sort of story to what we've seen unfold in this semi-final, what we did in Sebastian's quarter-final. He was dominating the possession, he was sort of controlling the game, but not really making a mark on the game as of yet.
This could be a great chance. Hernandez, of all people, floated to Clement Lenglet. Paul Pogba now get that ball into one of those attacking players. Could be Mbappe, could be anyone in that box that just has got an eye for goal. Corner taken quickly towards the front post. Alisson is nowhere to be seen. And it is going to be Raphael Varane that breaks the deadlock again. It's not the most beautiful of goals, Richard. It's attacking, it's direct, and it's an actual very, very good finish in the end in terms of the header that was then created from Raphael Varane. It was so quick that there was just no time for the goalkeeper to react there. But Alisson has got to be doing better there, you'd like to think.
The difference between FIFA 20 and FIFA 21. On FIFA 21, if you bring the goalkeeper a little bit with holding triangle, you've got to fully commit him. You've got to hold it the entire way until he gets onto the ball. In previous FIFAs, you can hold it a little bit and then the AI would take control and run the rest of the way if they were going to automatically lock onto it. He's pulled him out a little bit to sort of look to get the ball, but he's not followed it through, and that's the reason Varane just out-jumped Alisson for that header. A sloppy goal to concede.
Yeah, a really peculiar one. But again, Sebastian Bash, as you said, he's had the possession and he's able to create a chance. He's been able to put it into the back of the net. It was a warning sign eventually. I should say there was a warning sign originally that came in from Varane, and it was saved once and twice by Alisson. That corner taken so quick, just a couple of seconds, that there wasn't enough time for Riole to react. And that is the breakthrough in this one. 35 minutes gone in the first half. We have a breakthrough in our second semi-final. France currently in the lead, which would mean if it did stay like this, we'd be seeing a France-Liverpool grand final tonight.
We're used to the phrase corner taken quickly being associated to Liverpool. On this occasion, goes against them.
Yeah, quite literally, wasn't it? It was Varane. Just edged his way in front of the Brazilian shot-stopper. The ball found its way into the back of the net. 7 minutes left in this first half. As you said, it's a $300 game of FIFA this. You win it, you're guaranteed $300 alongside a place in the grand final. But what a month it would have been for you to look at. Across the 4 weekly invitationals to then make a great run from the round of 64 all the way to a grand final. That in itself is a huge achievement for whoever can be in our grand final and be the top two. Chance for Liverpool in the first half here. Mohamed Salah, lovely ball round the corner for Bobby Firmino. Can he find Salah again? He can he find a cutback? Salah does very well to just dance around the two defenders that were on his first couple of touches there. Had time to come now of just a minute, would predict it.
But Ben Yedder, he's got acres of space.
One more chance even with Kingsley Coman. Added time has been less than a minute, and that will do us for the first 45 minutes here, Richard. 1-0 for Sebastian Bashkin. Came from a set piece of all. 3 chances, 3 shots on target, just edging the possession, but not the most beautiful of goals, Richard. It was simple and it was direct from a corner.
It's a very peculiar game because there's a lot of space on the pitch, but I don't feel like either player are really using the ball to the best of their ability and to the best of the space available. It's almost... the word safe comes to mind. Both players are playing safe possession. They're not playing really dangerous attacks. They're not trying to take the risk in the final third.
I mean, in some ways, you can understand the reason why they're trying to limit those risks, because there is so much on stake. This is only a best-of-1 game. We have to remind you, there's no second chances, there's no second legs or aggregate scorelines. It's a one and done, in all honesty. That goes for the grand final as well, so it's whether they can hold their nerve and, as you said, Richard, create the most chances and also limit themselves to not making too many mistakes. That's why the only goal we've seen is from a set piece where maybe there was a little bit of fortune there in terms of the battle Varane find himself in, and normally Alisson would be a player to dictate that box, but if you said, Rich, if you don't bring him out at the right time and you don't configure the right button combination, aka just hold down triangle, sometimes you are going to be caught out. 53 minutes played here. Liverpool still hunting for a way back into the tie. He's got to get players on the ball in these areas. He's got to get Salah back on the ball. He's got to get Sadio Mane.
It's a little bit rushed there.
He's going to be a deadly player. Mane. Back to Salah. Back to Mane again. Lovely drag back. Doing really well is Rafael Varane to read it from all the Liverpool players. Diogo Jota then eventually gets the shot away. But again, Varane just gets a toe on it. Out it goes for a corner.
He was stuck to him like glue there, Rafael Varane. We were just chasing the ball wherever it went. Van Dijk goes up for the corner, but just thought to Gomez.
As well, Salah. So quick, and again, it has to go back for another interception. That time, Clement Lenglet. Where to stick out a right leg and to ensure it goes for another corner. That one whipped into the box. He's loving trying to get Virgil van Dijk onto the ball. It's just a little dink, isn't it? He wants it into Virgil van Dijk. Then a simple just X pass, I think, off. To just cushion a header down to any attacking player in the box, because we saw it earlier, didn't we? We saw how good he was at doing that, because I think it was Mane that had a chance, didn't it? It was like a bicycle kick effort from the corner. It's a nice little tactic that can be used, and it's quite a clever one.
Especially if your opponent is moving the goalkeeper with the right stick. You see Sebastian Bash on all these defensive corners. Hugo Lloris is sort of just playing on the 6-yard line, marking all that space up.
Chance potentially, Mane. Back to Gini right now. This is the chance that Liverpool have been looking for. Roberto Firmino. Tee off to Henderson. He wants to get it back into those forward players. Salah back to goal. It's another shot. It's another great interception. He's been solid at the back. That's Sebastian Bash. Hasn't dived into tackles when he's needed to make blocks. That's exactly what he's done, whether it's Varane, whether it's Clement Lenglet. He's just been so patient as well.
Just seen a poll in the Twitch chat, Brandon, that screams your name. Where do you usually finish on Weekend League? 1 to 16? And you're happy with that? The Gold 2 gang? 20 to 28? Or are you hitting top 200, 29 and 30 wins?
I mean, there's a lot of people saying 29 and 30. I think we've got a couple of lies in the chat.
We've got some really good FIFA players.
Well, we've got some very good players. Maybe some players that actually are playing in the Open Series at this moment in time. The reason we're asking you a couple of FUT questions is because FUT is now present in the Open Series. If you are a regular competitor in the Open Series, go and check out the latest PlayStation 4 tournaments, because there's lots of FIFA Ultimate Team tournaments on FIFA 21 up for grabs. But for me, I mean, 14, 17, maybe occasionally 20, hopefully in 2021. I know you're above the 20 mark, Richard. Maybe not the 29 to 30 mark, as we've got a couple of fibbers in the chat saying. I rate the honesty for the 7 people that have said 1 to 16.
Well, a lot of people also, if you've got a busy weekend, you might have got other things to do at the weekend, you might be working. You ain't got time to play 30 games on some occasions. So what people will do is they'll play to 14 wins, get the 2 player picks, get the guaranteed 50k pack from Gold 3 rewards as well, and they'll be happy with that. You also get 2,000 Rivals qualification points, meaning that you don't have to then play Rivals midweek to re-qualify for Weekend League. So a lot of people will tend to play to 14 wins if the entire Weekend League isn't available for them to play if other commitments come up.
Yeah, I've just seen a lot of love in the chat as well for Riola Crew, our Italian player, playing as Liverpool in this game, just saying stay calm, stay composed. He's got 15 minutes to try and find a way back into this tie. Unfortunately, he would go out of the tournament if there is no goal back into the game. It'll be Sebastian Bash that snatches a 1-goal victory, and it would be a France-Liverpool grand final, unless there is more late drama from Liverpool. That's one thing that we've associated them with today in the Open Series. Late goals, late drama. Are we going to see some more of it here? A little scoop turn, does well. She goes down to ground in the end, does Varane. He's got to be careful there, can't be diving into tackles in the box. We've seen penalties already given today in the Open Series. Another tackle there, still not fully dealt with. And Mane picks up possession again. Eventually, Kante gets rid of the ball into the final 10 minutes here now, Richard. This is in Sebastian's hands.
We've seen late drama the entire day, though, in all honesty. This entire tournament, the 6 games that we've seen up to this point, has been filled with late goals. The only player that's not been involved in these drama-filled games is the player leading right now, Sebastian Bash.
Be a chance to make it a second. If he did find a second, it would be game over. Put that man's name into the grand final. 5 in-game minutes left. We've seen loads of late goals today, especially those with Liverpool's name on them. France can find another. It would be GG in the chat. We would have 2 players in our grand final. 3 in-game minutes left here for Riola Crew. Can he find a goal? Can he find a chance? This Liverpool side that have done so well for him up to this point. Roberto Firmino into Salah. He's got to try and get Salah back on the ball. He's got to try and get Mane back on the ball. Sadio Mane with a great chance and another even bigger tackle at the back. That's on Clement Lenglet. Now this is in his hands, Sebastian Bash. Keep the ball, you win this game, and you book a place in the grand final.
So many bodies behind the ball there, just bouncing in and around France's bodies.
That's got to be job done. That's got to be job done there, Richard. Long ball forward, a goal to just finalise the performance. Referee, we've played the 1 minute, and there we have it. It will be a Liverpool-France grand final, and it will be Sebastian Bash, the only Danish player, I should say, who made it into our top 64 this month in the Open Series, makes it to a grand final. The furthest he's ever been in the Open Series, and what a way to kick off his FIFA 21 season. Commiserations to Riola Crew with that Liverpool team. They did so well, Richard, but just in that semi-final, they could not create anything, in all honesty, but credit where it's due as well to Sebastian. The defending was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, just looking down, I'm actually just writing down the results. I like to keep all the results for all the games that we've seen, and Sebastian Bash hasn't conceded a goal in this tournament up to date. He has been flawless defensively. It seems as though whenever there's opportunities for his opponents to try and get a goal, Varane, Lenglet. One thing in particular, offensively, he creates a couple of chances and he's very clinical, but defensively, especially with Rafael Varane, he never dove into tackles. He didn't leave himself exposed at the back. I think you pointed it out. The ball was going around the box and it was Varane just controlling it, going left to right, making sure there was no space to get a shot away. He was marking the near post. It was a very comfortable defensive performance for Sebastian Bash. It was a set piece. That was the goal that he scored. It was a set piece.
There was a couple of chances. Honestly, there isn't too much to look back on the highlight reel from that game, because there was only one goal, and that was the only goal that did go in. But yeah, it was Clement Lenglet and Varane that deserved all the plaudits from that one, Richard. It was solid defending, really consistent defending, and also just very clever in terms of where he didn't dive into the tackle. But what a month December has been. There's only 2 names that can remain in this tournament: Ajdin Riyad as Liverpool and Sebastian Bash, the great Dane as we called him, as France in this game. What a journey, Richard, across the 4 weekly invitationals and our top 64 bracket today. Only 2 players remain. They both guaranteed themselves at least $300, but only one of them can round out 2020 as a champion, Rich.
It's been a truly magnificent performance from both players in this tournament up to date. If you fancy yourself as a FIFA 21 player, plenty of opportunities to compete here on the Open Series. You want to follow this link down below. I've seen some people in the chat saying, oh, I'm better than this guy, he's a noob. Well, back it up. Get that link signed up. Compete.playstation.com. Sign up, register your ESL account and your PlayStation account, and you can be in this position in a month's time. I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yeah, there's so much up for grabs as well. Even if you don't make it to the top 64, you can still win some really cool things, such as in-game avatars for your PlayStation account and accessories. Of course, FIFA points, as we mentioned, and some cash if you do make it to the top sort of 8, 16 and 32. But that is all you need to know about the Open Series. Get yourselves involved, because 2021 plans to be exciting with the tournaments we do have in store. We're going to go to a quick break to freshen up and get ready for this grand final. As we said, it's Sebastian Bash against Ajdin Riyad coming up in just a couple of minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. Strap yourselves in, it's going to be a good one. We are here today to bring you the action. Hello.
Fantastic finish.
Oh, it's an equaliser. Goals galore.
What a player he is.
There is so much on the line. Avatars, in-game fiends, money, FIFA points. We want to see you involved.
PlayStation.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at the best squads in FIFA 21. We'll tell you which teams you should be looking at to challenge your friends in head-to-head matches or when you're competing in the PS4 Open Series. Let's kick this off with the reigning world champions, France.
By far the best team to use in FIFA 21. It can be broken down into 3 key areas: attack, midfield, defence. In the attacking third, Mbappe, Anthony Martial, Wissam Ben Yedder and Antoine Griezmann give you so much diversity in the final third. In CDM, Moussa Sissoko and N'Golo Kante dominate that area, and in the back 4 you have some incredible players. Raphael Varane alongside Clement Lenglet, and the addition of Ferland Mendy in the FIFA 21 France team simply make them the best.
Another squad to watch out for are the current English champions in Liverpool.
Pace is what they are built upon. You've got Mo Salah and Mane pressing from the front. In midfield, Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Jordan Henderson make up a real compact, steel-like midfield. And in the defence, what a player. Virgil van Dijk alongside fan favourite Joe Gomez. With Trent on the right and Andy Robertson on the left, Liverpool are an absolute unit in FIFA 21.
Another team that will give opponents nightmares are the German giants Bayern Munich. Right, Rich?
Yeah, they are outstanding. In the centre of the pitch is where they really flourish. Leon Goretzka alongside Joshua Kimmich in that central midfield role dictate the play. Robert Lewandowski up top is deadly. Inside the box, outside the box, on his head, on a volley, he can score anywhere at any time. In the defence, they are very, very potent. David Alaba, Jerome Boateng, Alphonso Davies give you lots and lots of different options. And who can forget about Manuel Neuer? He is the last line of defence. He wears the captain's armband for a reason, and Bayern Munich are certainly usable.
And finally, the last team that deserves an honourable mention are the Parisian side PSG, who are also a fantastic choice in head-to-head FIFA.
Absolutely. Neymar and Mbappe are a fantastic duo next to each other. They complement each other so well, and with these two on the pitch, anything is possible. Di Maria, coming in from the right-hand side, can whip shots into that top left corner with that wand of a left foot. At central midfield, you have Idrissa Gana Gueye and Marco Verratti, who keep it very basic and keep things ticking over. And in the defence, Marquinhos and Kimpembe keep it very, very solid. PSG are a very usable option in FIFA 21 and almost a little of an outside pick to surprise opponents in the Open Series.
These are just 4 of the many incredible options that you can use. But of course, you want to choose the strongest possible squad that fits your playstyle on FIFA 21.
PlayStation.
Well, welcome back to the PlayStation Tournament's Open Series European Monthly Finals. It is grand final time. That one moment we wait all month for across the 4 weekly invitationals, the top 64 bracket. Richard, the time has finally come. Liverpool against France. It's a nice tournament way to end this tournament, I should say. It's normally France against France. Sebastian Basch, obviously a Great Dane, top the best tournament he's ever had in the Open Series. And then Ashdin Riyad, he's been here before, Richard. He's been to grand finals before, and he's obviously tasted being a champion as well. How do you see this one going?
I don't want to say I called this, but I said right at the beginning of the tournament, these two are the favourites to watch. These two are the 2 players that have got the most experience and that probably would edge in a competitive tournament. They have done that. However, they've done it in very different fashions. Sebastian Basch has been immaculate defensively, where on the other side of that, Ashdin Riyad has been scoring free-flowing goals. It's been real sort of late drama-filled games with Liverpool as well. Just looking at his results, 4-3 against Max, a late winning goal for Sadio Mane. Penalties were looming in that particular game. His first game that on broadcast, 3-2 against, it was King from Spain right there. So a real sort of balance of 2 different styles, offensive and defensive. Who's going to come out on top?
And on top of that as well, let's remember, as you said, Sebastian Basch yet to concede a goal on the broadcast today. She said it was a 2-0 win in his quarter-final and then a 1-0 win. Rafael Varane scoring the only goal from a set piece. He's been very resolute in terms of the way he's defended. He's been very, very good. He's not dived into tackles, and to not concede goals on FIFA 21 is quite an achievement, Rich, in itself, because as you said, the goals are flying in this year on FIFA. You know, look at the results that Ashley Riyad's had. Yes, he's had a lot of great games and some great goals in there, but to not concede is pretty remarkable. We'll have a look at the bracket to remind ourselves of the journey that these two have had on tonight's tournament. But Richard, it's been very different in terms of goals that have gone in and goals that have been conceded.
Yeah, it has indeed. We can see the official confirmation of all the results up to this point. Ashley Riyad 3-2 victory in the quarterfinals. Max won 6-3. Raiola Crew won 3-2, and then Sebastian Bash won 2-0. So you see, he just the difference right there. 2-0, 1-0. On the other side of that, 3-2 and 4-3. So it's going to be a clash of styles. It's going to be fire against water. Who comes out on top in our final? Ajdin Riyad and Sebastian Bash. It's a real toss-up, I would say. Let us know in the chat right now any sort of winning prediction. Who do you think will be victorious? We can see both the Twitch chat and the YouTube comments live right now. So plenty of debate coming into this final. We don't tend to do predictions, Brandon, but are you expecting a tight game, or do you think it'll be one-way traffic?
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting goals, to be honest. Hopefully goals. Let us know, as you said, as Richard said in the comments on YouTube or in the Twitch chat. Liverpool to win or France to win, or just give us a score prediction. You don't even have to say a name on it. Just give us a score prediction. Speaking of score predictions, we could do them, Richard. Then we're sort of not being too biased, so to speak. We'll just throw a score prediction out. They're not an actual team that's going to win. I'm going to say 3-2.
Okay.
That's big. I know it's big
because
he hasn't conceded yet.
1-0.
There you go. Right, we're ready for it. We'll jump into the grand final as soon as it is ready. Grand final time is now upon us in the European monthly finals here in December. The last tournament of 2020. Ajdin Riyad up against Sebastian Bash. Liverpool with the first attack of this game. The man is yet to concede a goal in the Open Series broadcast tonight. Is it going to change in this grand final? I've said 3-2. Richard said 1-0. Let's see how this game is going to go. But the story, Richard, has been this Liverpool team. Lots of late drama. Also a sort of new, I want to say a new meta that they've somehow created. A very interesting formation that this Liverpool team are using. Diogo Jota has been the goal scorer tonight. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been the centre midfielder tonight. And it's just been a complete mismatch, which has clearly worked for him.
Yeah, chance here for Jota inside the box. Lloris pounces on the ball. Roberto Firmino and Mo Salah looking very lively in the opening stages here.
It's all Liverpool at the moment. Bobby Firmino. Remember that, you know, he's had a game off, Ajdin Riyad. See Sebastian Bash coming straight off the back of that semi-final. Very resolute in the way he's defended. Really good. You know, doesn't want to dive into tackles. Doesn't want to give away silly fouls. And that's one thing that's going to be even more important now. Just offside there was the Liverpool forward. They will come back for a free kick. But all to play for. It's a best of one, this one. As all our games have been here in the PlayStation Open Series. $400 on the line alongside a place to call yourself a champion in the Open Series. You'll be on the winners list. The Hall of Fame, as we like to call it. Those names that pop up time and time again. Kingsley Coman now. Just trying to push that pass into the path of Mbappe. That's the first time he's been in the box of his opponent. 14 minutes into the tie. As you said, Sebastian, that's one thing that maybe we could give him a downfall on. He maybe struggles to create all the chances in the world that he wants to. The only goal he scored in that last game did come from a corner. That was a set piece that Varane actually leapt above quite a few players in that. Gave Alisson no chance.
Sort of a one-off goal, I like to call them. It's something that you can't rely on. It's not going to happen to you every game when you score a goal of that ilk.
Yeah. It's definitely something that, you know, you can't always expect to go into the back of the net.
You can't rely on goals like that to win your games, and specifically to win your tournaments. You've got to score from a lot of different areas.
It could be one of those chances now. Mbappe back inside to Ben Yedder. Oh, the first touch was one not to remember. Sort of touched it the wrong way. If he touched it the other way, could have been a really good chance there. Better though from Sebastian. As we said, he struggled at times to really create a handful of chances. If you have just tuned in, this is your grand final here in Europe. $400 on the line. Liverpool against France. You aren't dreaming. It's not a France final for once. Lovely ball through. This is where Liverpool can be deadly. Sadio Mane, all the pace in the world. Is there going to be a cutback? He goes on his own. A great save from the Reece, and still just about dealt with again by Sebastian Bash. The man is yet to concede in tonight's broadcast. Has not conceded in his quarter-final, didn't concede in his semi-final. But it's tough in those moments, Richard, because you're in two minds. You're like, can you square it across goal? But on that occasion, there wasn't an option there.
He defended that so well. He just sort of sat with Rafa Varane in between the man looking to cross the ball and also stopping any sort of cutback to get a better angle for Sadio Mane. A really good piece of defending. If you want to know how to defend one-on-ones right there and stop the cutback, that is the clip that you want to be analysing.
Third of our grand final gone 0-0 between these two. Lovely through ball there into Anthony Martial. This is where France could be deadly. Want to get that ball over, he will. Ben Yedder punched it into the feet of Mbappe. Lovely little dance on the ball there. Little fakes around the corner and just wide of the right-hand post from Sebastian Bash, who is knocking on the door of Alisson right now. What a chance that was.
Just rustled the side netting. End-to-end game, this, in all honesty. Sort of, you have an attack and then I'll have an attack, and see who can break down each other's defence quicker. All from Sadio Mane there.
He got slightly too carried away in the skill moves that he was looking to implement, and in the end, unfortunately, that one just goes completely out of play. Be creating chances, but unfortunately, none of them have been able to really find a way past either goalkeeper or Sebastian. Not even on target. Mbappe did get the ball in the right area there, went to just drop the shoulder and tried to create a chance. Unfortunately, couldn't get it on target. Look more into the tie though, he's building into it. Be our second FIFA 21 champion, and we've got so many tournaments coming up in the early stages of 2021. I'm sure you've seen the promos on the FUT New Year party, including everything that is to come next year in the Open Series. If you want to get yourselves involved, there's a number of links in the comment section or the Twitch chat. Sign up today, get yourselves involved. Here's Diogo Jota. He's been the hero for Liverpool today. Chance now for Liverpool, back to goal. Firmino, well defended again by Sebastian Bash. That time Varane. He was the hero for him in the semi-final. Looks to be the hero once again. Half-time between these two, Richard, and nothing to separate them in this grand final. 0-0 the scoreline.
Just didn't want to shoot. The ball came onto the player-locked attacker there, and he could have turned and he could have hit it first time, but he wanted to get the better angle, get the higher percentage chance of scoring. Did Ajdin Riyad. It gave Sebastian Bash time to get across with Rafa Varane and just throw a leg in front of the upcoming shot. Nervy, I think the word to describe this final right now.
Certainly very nervy between these two. Lovely ball into the path of Diogo Jota. One goal, I think, honestly, Rich, I know I said 3-2. I mean, if the chances were on target, we could have actually been seeing a couple more goals. But this could have a 1-0 written all over it. One goal could honestly win this game. We've already seen that proven in the semi-final by Sebastian. This is the tightest game that, you know, Ajdin Riyad been involved in. I mean, it was you that predicted it. The question is, which way is that goal going to go, potentially? Liverpool, haven't seen them win an Open Series for a long time. Predominantly France.
What a cool
always
joker.
Come out on top. Chance now for Liverpool, and it's just wide. But that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Was that sort of June, July time? That was when the Open Series really kicked off on FIFA 20. Another chance now for Liverpool. Sadio Mane, there's a bit of an overload in the box here from Liverpool. Can he whip that ball across? Goes for the cutback, finds the feet of Jota. He drops the shoulder once and twice, and again, slowed it down so much that it gave France players an opportunity to intercept the ball and make sure possession changed hands.
It has to be quicker in the final third, just like Kingsley Coman is right there. Bridge touch down the line. Oof, well done.
He goes for a corner. This is where they scored last time. Varane's in the box again. He will be leaping up in there, pile on the pressure for Alisson. He does just about enough. Chances at either end, still nothing to separate the two. 30 in-game minutes left. What a run that could be. I've just seen him toy that one. Will be Firmino. Tries to find the cutback. Mane's there also. Referee will go back for a free kick, and it will be Clement Lenglet to get us back underway. Richly, this is anyone's game. A mistake, a piece of luck really can be the difference in this one. Both players really secured themselves some solid prize money. It's just about who's going to be the champion here. Where is that goal going to come from? Mbappe's honestly being kept quiet this game, which is not a familiar thing that we're used to saying. He's had nothing, in all honesty. He hasn't even got a sniff of the ball in the box. He had one chance in the first half, and that shot wasn't even on target.
Long one over the top. Poor touch from Mane, though. This side with Lucas Hernandez and Lenglet is the side you want to be focusing on. It's a lot weaker than Varane and Ferland Mendy.
Speaking of Mbappe, I said he was quite lovely bridge touch. Now Mbappe still with it, drops the shoulder, it goes across the box. It's just about, again, defended by Liverpool. Still nothing to separate these two. It's like a chess game. Lovely long ball forward. Diogo Jota. Lots of room to move into. Can he offload it? Salah. Still Mohamed Salah punched into the feet. There's a chance, and Liverpool will break the deadlock. And it's Bobby Firmino that could potentially be the hero for Liverpool here. A lovely counter-attacking move. Diogo Jota offloaded it back into the path of Salah. And it was the Brazilian in Roberto Firmino on the 69th minute to potentially win this game for Liverpool. Yes, there's still 21 minutes into it, but what does that mean, Richard? It means that Sebastian Bash has to attack now. That's the first goal he has conceded all night.
The counter-attacking football has been a prime element of Ajdin Riyad's game in this entire tournament, and the defensive wall of Sebastian Bash finally starting to crack, and this could be the wall falling down. Sadio Mane tracks it wide.
It's not even on target, was it? What a chance again, wasted. Got to be on target, got to be making a save there by Hugo Lloris. Get a corner or something just to take a couple of extra seconds or minutes out of the game. Another chance now, Liverpool to put the game to bed. Mane, where's your card back again? He goes on his own.
That has to be a cutback. Has to be a cutback.
The only thing I can honestly think is that actually Riyad's expecting some sort of goalkeeper movement away from the near post for the potential cutback, and that never actually came. You can see how many players are forward now by Sebastian, by the lack of defenders back for France. 12 in-game minutes left in our grand final. At the moment, it will be Ajdin Riyad picking up another Open Series victory. Did it on FIFA 20. He'll be looking to do it again on FIFA 21 if he can hold on for 10 more in-game minutes. Mbappe, can he be the hero? He's been kept quiet all game long. Cut back, Martial, and just wide out for a goal kick.
Almost a toe ender right there. You'd learn that in primary school, not to hit the ball like that. Anthony Martial. Rash strike from the Manchester man. We've seen the custom tactics changes here of Sebastian Bash taking his fullbacks off stay back or attacking. He wants more bodies forward. I imagine it's going to be a team press for the final 10 minutes. You see constant pressure here being implemented as well on his defensive custom tactics set. 10 minutes remaining, Brandon. Is there something more to give?
This would be a great opportunity to snatch this result. If one of those super subs can be the hero, could it be Minamino? Could it be Divock Origi of all players to send Liverpool towards a victory here tonight? Or is it a case of just sucking out the remaining minutes in this tie? Minamino still with it now. He has been the hero for him earlier on in the tournament. If you can cast your mind back to that quarter-final performance.
I thought that's quite poor. Sorry, I just think that's quite naive, in all honesty, not to try and score that. There was an opportunity to put it across the box for Divock Origi, and he went for the step-overs.
Giving away possession as well.
And they just sort of wasted the opportunity. You're only in the 80th minute. There's plenty of time. How many late goals have we seen today?
So many late goals. Again, time is running out though, Richard. It's not on the side of France, but this Liverpool team, they've conceded late before, and these throw-ins aren't helping them. Can Sebastian Basch just create one chance? Again, it's a poor pass. Can't even find the feet of a forward. Wins the ball back again with this France side. A minute left plus additional time. Lovely ball. Kingsley Coman find the cutback. Oh, great tackle again. Joe Gomez that time. Added time of 2 minutes towards the front post. It's headed away only as far as the edge of the box. Back to another France shirt. Mbappe, lovely bridge touch. Last chance of the game. Pokes it across the goal. Everybody's on the floor. And that could have just about been a chance again. France will get one more bite at the cherry. No, they won't. And it will be Liverpool that will break the French curse, and they will do it. Here in the December monthly finals in Europe, Ajdin Riyad becomes another champion, but this time on FIFA 21. Rich, I have to give it to you, mate. Prediction King, 1-0 victory for Liverpool in what was one of the tightest finals we've seen in a long time. We've seen 4-3 wins, Rich. We've seen 3-2 wins. We've seen, you know, even a couple of 1-0 wins today. But that for a grand final, there was a lot of chances, but there was only one goal to talk about, and that goal was for Liverpool. Ajdin Riyad, congratulations. You are our December monthly final champion.
There was a lot of chances. There was a lot of sort of half chances. This one, perfect example of it right here. Mbappe, poor touch there, and then finally gets the shot away. On another day, that rattles the back of the net. What we have to say, Diego Jota, getting away from Rafa Varane. He pulls the ball back into Mohamed Salah, step over into Firmino, and that first-time fake shot is fantastic from Ajdin Riyad. Instinctive FIFA showing its class once again.
It's just
it into the back of the net. But can we just talk about
touch?
Virgil van Dijk? What a player he is. Look at this right here. The ball comes across the box. And who is it there? In front of Paul Pogba to clear the ball. There was a reason that the Twitch chat voted him as the most impactful player for Liverpool.
What a journey, Richard, this has been tonight. We've had an absolute honour of casting our eyes on all of the action. We had 8 players who kicked off tonight on the broadcast from all over the world, all over Europe. And then we went to our final 4. And look at that run that man has been on. Ajdin Riyad kicked it off with a 3-0 win in that quarter-final against the King SD. Then beat Max 99K in what was a 4-3 thriller. And then we go to a grand final that was so tight. And in the end, it was only won by a single goal. $400 richer. Ajdin Riyad writes himself again into the history books here in the Open Series, Richard. And that is going to be our last European broadcast for this year in 2020. But there's still so much more to come, isn't there?
Might be the last European broadcast, but it's not the final broadcast of the year for the North American FIFA 21 Open Series final, because we go again in 2 hours' time, 10 p.m. GMT. The North American monthly finals will be rolling around. The final event of the year for FIFA 21 in the books. You do not want to miss this, because if it's anything like the EU tournament, it's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, and of course, if you've enjoyed what you've seen as well here in the Open Series and you guys want to get yourselves involved, of course, it's that all-important link that's going to pop up below us right now, compete.playstation.com. And the best thing of all, Richard, we have got FIFA Ultimate Team coming next year in 2021. So if you like head-to-head, like you've just seen there, the France, the Liverpool teams, or you like Ultimate Team, this is your time to get involved. Maybe win some money, maybe win some in-game avatars. Who knows, Richard? It's all about just getting involved and seeing how far you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you get yourself involved. Link your accounts, and we can see you very shortly indeed. If you are going to be partying with us for this evening, hope you have a fantastic new year, and we'll see you in EU in 2021. If not, we'll see you in a couple of hours' time for the North American FIFA 21 Open Series. See you soon.
PlayStation